welcome to the Supreme Pool Series, event number 1, the Jason Owen Open. Joining us in the studio is Gareth Potts and the sponsor himself, Jason Owen. Hi Jason, how did you think of coming to sponsoring the event? What was your thoughts?
Yeah, it was early days when I got involved, and you kind of talked me into it, a little bit of twisty arms. But yeah, over the moon, just seeing the players I've got out there now. Or you've got out there now, should I say?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of players are using your cues as well, aren't they?
Yeah, that's it. There's a great support for my cues out there as well. But just seeing those names that have just come in, we've got the World Rules guys, and we've got the Black Ball guys, and we've got a lot of the old guys. So, yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah. Done well.
And Gareth, really well. You were in it at the start, then commitments took you out of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, my commitments in China sort of meant that I couldn't make at least 3 of the events, which then meant I couldn't make the grand final. So I did originally enter, and then when the schedule came out in China, that meant that it didn't make sense for me to play. So unfortunately, and I was gutted that I wasn't able to play, because obviously the event is it's huge, and bringing all the players together is something which the game has needed for a long time, and I am disappointed that I'm not going to be a part of it, but I will be a part of it here in the studio and in the commentary.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I'm sure all the fans, your supporters as well, want your input and understanding the difference between the 2 rule sets and also the new rules when they come out as well.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the most sort of intriguing things with it is, of course, all of for the last sort of 6-7 years, all of the players are either playing one set of rules or the other set of rules, and this bringing everybody together sort of sees who's able to adapt to what rules, and I suppose sees ultimately who's the best English 8-ball player, because the rules, there's 3 sets of rules in effect. I do think that the rules will be easier for the World Rules players to adapt to the Black Ball events rather than the Black Ball players adapt to the World Rules events. I think that transition is harder rather than the other way, but it'd be interesting to see.
So why do you think that though? What's your rationale on that?
So I think that as a die-hard World Rules player growing up, I grew up playing World Rules, and it is a lot about the tactical side of it. Is a lot about, it's like a game of chess, and you do have to be a step ahead of your opponent. And I think if you're not playing a lot of World Rules and a lot of World Rules tournaments, so you match sharp, I think those players are going to be at least a shot behind the top World Rules players, where the contrast of going the other way to the Black Ball, it is a lot more attacking. So the likes of, a Phil Harrison or Tom Cousins, who are like a die-hard World Rules players, the transition for them to go from World Rules to Black Ball is much easier, because they know the patterns, they know the finishes. Yes, you can argue the skill shot is still there, but other than that, it's literally just when the balls are there, the finish is there, take them out. Where the other way, when the balls go scrappy, I do think you need to be very good tactically.
Good points. The first event is already underway. We're about to start the next stream match, and we'll hand over now to the commentary team. Throughout the event, we'll come back to the studio, we'll get different guests involved, and if we have any questions, I'm sure Nick can pass them through off the internet or off our Facebook page, Players Pool Events, and also on our website, playerspoolevents.com. So we'll better get the match underway. We have 2 great players in Clint and Darren Appleton. Over to you, Nick.
Well, thank you very much, Lee, and what an introduction. The wait is finally over. Welcome to the Supreme Pool Series. This is event 1, and so much anticipation around this event. It's been in the planning for so many months, and we're finally here, and what a game to kick us off. We have in front of us Darren Appleton against Clint. Neither player really needs too much introduction. The strap line for the series, you see it in the background there, is when 2 worlds collide, and this is very much about when 2 worlds collide, and 2 worlds are definitely colliding here. Darren, a very famous face. He's been away in the States for the last 11 years, and he comes back to join us to play one of the leading players in the UK at the moment, in Clint. I'm joined in the commentary booth by Dan Davey. How are you, Dan?
I'm very good, mate. Very good.
Excellent. You've been looking forward to this event?
Yeah, looking forward to this match as well. should be interesting to see how it works. Obviously, Darren being out of the game for so long, but you know, I don't know. I don't think it'll be a big. I don't think it'll be a big surprise if he does really well, runs deep in the event, because I know he's been playing American pool for years, but this is his bread and butter. You know, he's not. He should be like riding a bike.
Absolutely.
I don't think. I wouldn't be surprised to see him or Jason, any of the sort of, you know, do well in the event, because in the end of the day, they do play a cue sport for a living, which we don't. You know,
Yeah.
Others don't. So.
And that being a big difference, really. I mean, they've always got that competitive edge. They're always there and thereabouts.
100%, yeah.
And from Jason's perspective, I mean, he's been leading the way in American pool for the last 12, 18 months.
Yeah.
He's currently in action across on one of the other tables. He's playing Shane Thompson. If you want any updates on the scores, you can get them from Q Score. If you Google Q Score and then just put in the Jason Owen Open, you will get access to all of the scores from around the room. They are being updated live by the players, so that's a real-time score update. I have to just mention this arena. I don't think I've seen another arena in pool like this. It's up there with any arena that I've seen in snooker. It's absolutely incredible, Dan.
It does look good. It does look very good.
And there you see it. I
See
mean,
there in full view, yeah.
fantastic, and the fans already assembling around the table, even though we're still fairly early on the first morning. A real anticipation about this series. It's been a buzz on social media for pretty much the last year, 18 months.
You know, I think Clint just played a really good recovery shot there. If you can see from the shot before, he just slightly overran, and he's played perhaps a shot he didn't want to play, but it's worked out perfect. He's just nudged the yellow just to the right of where the white is now, nudged it out perfectly, so he's on the sort of problem yellow just below this red. He needed to get good position on that, and he's worked it out really well. So,
And now a fantastic opportunity for...
it should be 1-0 Clint.
Yeah.
You see Darren a bit unlucky on the break there, big break, but he got kicked in off. So, you know, hardly a mistake from Darren, and looking like 1-0 down.
So I recognise that a lot of people are joining us. Just a little bit of information about the series. This is event 1 of 5 series. The first 2 events are played to world rules. Events 3 and 4 will be black ball rules, and event 5 will be a new set of rules called the Supreme Rules. So we'll talk about them in more depth later on. For now, we're going to focus more on this game, and the focus is on these 2 players. So for those familiar with the pool world, they won't need too much introduction. At the table now is Clint. He's 30 years old. He uses a master cue. He was the number 1 ranked professional in 2016, and he's certainly been up there in the sort of top 3 or 4 for the last few years on the IPA tour. He started playing pool at the age of 7. His dad got him into it, and his dad used to own an arcade that had pool tables in, so he literally lived on the table when he was a kid. Much more about the players as the match goes on. Of course, his opponent, as I mentioned earlier in his little introduction to pool fans, he's Darren Appleton, nicknamed Dynamite. He's 42 years old.
Get comfortable. You're just about to go through the achievements.
Yeah,
Just
I know.
Get a coffee.
I
take a while.
I know. It's just absolutely incredible. 4 times world champion at 4 different disciplines: 8 ball, 10 ball, 9 ball. 14-1, 2 times back-to-back US. I mean, I can't even go through all these. There's just such a...
Interestingly, Chinese 8 ball as well. So that was one of the things that I mentioned on earlier as why I wouldn't be surprised to see him. Not that anyone would be, but you know, the old, no, he doesn't play English pool anymore. This is Darren Appleton.
Yeah.
You know, he went to China and won the Chinese 8 ball off of just a week or 2, or you know, very little practice compared to the rest of the world. Well, the Chinese part of the, you know, which are the masters of the game, and he went over there and won that. So, don't think that he can't come back to his roots and do really well at this game, because I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I know Darren's been in the country for a little while. He's been playing on some of the local tours, so he's getting back his English 8 ball seasoning. In a minute, we will have a quick look around the room and look at some of the other scores. There's some really interesting games going on already from the 10 o'clock session, and there's just an absolute, I mean, it's the who's who of pool is here. Incredible. We've already seen, Gaz Potts is in the room. He was chatting to Darren Appleton and Mark Farnsworth earlier. There's, three of the finest players in the country.
There's a few trophies there, aren't there?
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah, I was trying to work out the other day how many world championship titles are in this room.
I think you're still counting, aren't you?
I can't even get close.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's just, Ben Davis, the current world champion, he's now back in the event, which is great to see. Mick Hill not in this in event 1, but he will be joining us in event 2 and onwards. So it's there's not too many missing.
No.
So here we get our first look at this shark rack that has been mentioned quite a lot on social media recently. For those of you not familiar with it, it's something that is used quite prolifically in Chinese and 8-ball. It's just a thin sheet that sits under the balls, and it allows the balls to sit upon that sheet, and it holds them all touching each other. And you'll see some pretty good splits from it today. People were mentioning how do you get the sheet off the table? Well, the referee has just shown you exactly how. You won't see that too often, probably maybe 1 or 2 games in 10 where the ball lands back on the sheet. But, you seem to get a pretty good split from it. Have you tried it yet, Dan?
Once, dry break.
Yeah. Oh, was it a dry break?
Yeah. Yeah, I ripped it up. No, it's no, once dry break. Yeah, I practiced with Dylan Leary a few times in the last couple of weeks, and one of the chaps at his pool club got one, so he brought it over and we sort of tried it once each, and yeah, the idea is really good. It is good because obviously when the cloth wears, then you get the sort of scorch marks, don't you?
Yeah.
And it kind of nullifies that, I suppose, because it's ever so slightly off the bed of the table. Obviously, the problem you'd first think about is, well, surely the balls are just going to jump up in the air, but it doesn't happen. So
Yeah.
it looks to be a good addition. I like the line. That goes down.
Yeah.
Because when you're racking the balls, you can actually see in between the balls as well, which you sort of kind of don't think about until you actually rack the balls up. Obviously, you can put the black on the spot and whatever, but just to get that from a breaking perspective, to get them, you can get the balls right in it. You can get the balls in exactly the same spot every time, not roughly the same spot, exactly the same spot every time. And if you're going to find a break that works, break's obviously the biggest, most important shot in pool. If you're going to find a break that works, what use is it if you're not racking the balls exactly in the same spot every single time? So.
And that's the point about this piece of kit. It offers consistency.
Yep. And with that coupled with the line, obviously the line means that it will be dead straight every time, and it just means that you're, like you say, consistency, and you can try and actually find a break that works. Because when you're racking the balls normally, especially without a line there as well, it's hard to get. You're going to get them roughly the same every time, but it's hard to get them exactly the same every time. So yeah, it should be a good thing. So
Clint's just having a close look at this, just to see if Darren's left him an edge, and indeed whether there's half a pocket to go for.
I think Clint's looking at maybe
just nudging off the red, is it?
Yeah, and pushing the red into these 2 yellows, because the reds are all there for the taking right now. So he needs to do something, but
get a bit of a safety net.
Yeah, just a little bit wary of it coming off the knuckle and pushing itself back out. But if it doesn't come off the knuckle and just pushes itself into the 2 yellows, then Clint sort of bought himself a bit of time in this frame. He's actually attacked. Fair enough. 2 shots carried. That's catastrophic.
Yeah. Have you found the adjustment easy across into world rules? I mean, I guess you've got a history of world rules in the past, haven't you? I mean,
they're not my preferred set, but I've played them in the past because my local area doesn't have many black ball tournaments. Yeah. So, it's more for me about time. Going. I don't want to be spending. If I don't really. Everyone's got different priorities and stuff, but I won't really travel to anything if it's more than an hour and a half each way. round trip on a day. Sorry, an hour and a half each way. So once you get into 3 hours round trip for a day event, it doesn't really interest me. So for a few years, I played on the Hearts Tour, which is world rules, in Neil Tom's club, and that that was world rules. They're not my preferred set, but I play them just because I want to play. Really, if my area is black ball, if my area was world rules, I suppose I'd play world rules. But when it comes to tournaments, I just play whatever's closest to me. I think when you play on good tables, quick cloth, to a high standard, the rules don't really come into it that much. When you play on a slow cloth, in a dingy pool hall with, poor, the rules come into it way more because you're getting big splits. Everybody's attacking.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you attack? It's brand new cloth, brand new equipment. The pockets all play fairly generous.
So you touched on the cloth. Have you had a chance to try it out this weekend?
Yeah, a couple of hours last night.
How did you find it?
Yeah, just like you'd hope a brand new cloth would be. Really, just runs perfect and runs perfect. They're really, really good nick. Perfect tables at the moment.
So just for the viewers, the cloth is a Strachan number 10, which I understand. I'm led to believe it's something they use more on snooker tables. I haven't had a chance to play on it myself or even feel it, but I understand it's pretty silky smooth and it's very fast, which should suit most of the players in the field.
Yeah, it should just make for attacking pool really, because you're going to get good splits, and it should just make for a better spectacle. I see one each now.
So we're just going to have a quick tour around the arena. And so on table number 1, Cameron Dunlop is currently 2-1 up against Alex Bailey. Dave Fernandez unfortunately wasn't able to make the event. I think he's just had a child. I think.
But yeah, he has. Yeah.
So other priorities. Matt Brearley, the robot doing what Matt does. He's currently 5-1 up against Gabe O'Malley. Colin Finn locked together at 4 against David McNamara. Phil Naylor from around the Manchester area. He's currently 3-2 up against Martin Goddard. Lewis Calcutt has taken a massive. I think they were tied up at 2-all at one point, but he's now 8-3 up. Jason Shaw is playing Shane Thompson. They're locked together at 3 frames apiece. Gavin Robinson has come down from the northeast. He's playing Eddie Barker, and he's currently 7 frames to 1 up. Cole Bedford is just edging Matt Schofield at 4-3. Ian Duffy's beating Craig Brown 4-2. Adam Davis against Yannick Bofi. Adam, no massive surprise there. Adam, such a quality player. World Rules is his home. He's 4-1 up against Yannick. Phil Milan leading Daz Lightfoot 3-2. Jeremy Hooper has come up from the West Country. Of course, Jeremy made the seniors final, I think, this year on the IPA, or certainly semi-final. He's just gone 6-3 up against Drew Hughes. Yeah. Declan Brennan 6-2 up against Jake Dillon Newlove. And one of our Moroccan friends, Usama Maskini, is currently 5-2 up against Ian Ali. That will be a bit of a surprise for some people. Ian,
definitely. Although, to be fair, I don't think many people know an awful lot about the Moroccans. But
no.
You don't travel from Africa, from North Africa.
No.
If you're not any good, do you? So.
No, sadly, some of the Moroccans had to pull out because they struggled a bit to get a visa here. So there's 2 or 3 of them missing, but a good showing there against Ian Ali. So these are races to 11.
See, Darren here just needs to leave himself the right angle on this yellow to get back up to the yellow below the black, which is going to be his last ball. I think it certainly was going to be his last ball. I don't know if he's going to reroute now, but Might see him just come across and now take this round 2 cushions. Tracer left-hand side, he just needs to miss this red.
Yeah, there's a bit of traffic in the way, isn't there?
Yeah, needs to miss the red most central. So whether he's going to come through, no, he's going to play it with side, so needs to get enough side.
No, he's
not missed it.
Oh, is he okay? I think he's found the gap.
Oh, wow.
Goodness me, that's certainly not what he played, so...
I'm just looking here, it's a little sort of a smirk and a smirk and a shake of the head at the same time because he's on it. But I don't know if the red, if the black goes past the red into the same pocket once he's potted it, so if it does, I don't know if he's got a full pocket.
It certainly must.
It must do,
Yeah.
yeah. Whether he's got a full pocket or not, he hasn't because he's crouching down to have a look at the angle, so slightly hampered cueing as well, makes this missable. If he was right behind this, with half a pocket, it's a guarantee, but awkward cueing as well. No, he's a bit too thick.
He's used to those bigger pockets.
Yeah, not that big.
No.
That's awkward cueing, that was always going to be tough. I don't know if Clint can get through to the red. I don't know if we're going to see him take a thin cut into the middle.
Yeah, I think that's probably his...
Yeah, you still want to attack from here.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a big gap that you can play safe, take on any of these balls, and you're sort of guaranteed to be safe. But
I guess playing this one in the top corner, he's playing it as a bit more of a shot to nothing.
yeah, it was perfectly played as well. Absolutely perfectly played. So, only thing that could possibly go wrong is the red that's on its own on the right-hand side of the table. Just needs to get good position on that. But I think we might see him go over for that now. As long as he can get that perfectly, that's about perfect.
Yep.
That should be good for 2-1. Might see Clint just take this red into the bottom left corner now and just leave himself dead straight on the just a stun shot. Leave himself dead straight on the red into the left middle. I don't think that was his original plan, but should be fine. He's just, yeah, he's sort of quit on the shot a little bit there.
Yeah.
And on these quick cloths, I mean, on a slower cloth, he'd still be perfect, really. Just, you know, because he'd be further to the right, but as it is now, I mean, he's made this missable. I don't know whether he's going to take the red into the top left corner, or whether we're going to see him take the other one into the top right, but he should still get this, but made this more difficult than it needs to be. He's cued it perfectly. He's perfect on the red as well. So, one mistake each. 2-1 Clint. Clint to break.
So a bit more about the two players. So Darren started playing pool when he was just 15 years old. After being spotted in a local pub, the landlord asked him to join his team. When I say just 15, I mean it's quite late to come to the game and have the kind of prolific career he's had.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, is that competition pool or is that surely it's not the first time he held a cue.
No. I think he was literally just knocking about in a pub and
Realised he was
saying,
good.
yeah. The landlord spotted him, and that's where it all kind of started for him.
He's got a bit of a family background as well, hasn't he, with his uncle, Andy Appleton being a bit of a legend to the game as well.
Yeah.
So.
And Shane Appleton, he's held a cue once or twice in his time as well.
Yeah, his brother, brother Shane. I think Shane's a bit older than Darren, and ex-pro himself, really good player. It's a big break for Clint, 2-1, off the back of Darren's mistake. You really want to punish that, get a ball off the break, go 3-1. He's lost the white a little bit. He's made a ball. At first glance, yellows look pretty good. You may have your problem areas right at the top of the table.
He's got a ball up there to attack that with as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got a couple, so you want to get into that as early as possible, as always, obviously, but that's key to the frame. See, Clint's just looking at the angle. If he, I think he's possibly looking at going into it off of the yellow that's up in the top left corner. We won't see him leave it till the end either. Probably be the shot after this. See the shot clock there coming into it. So 45-second shot clock with a warning with 10 seconds to go. And you get one extension per rack. See now, there shouldn't be any, obviously needs to avoid making a red when going into these reds, but you can see from where they're set, he should be fine. It's just about, you're going to need a little bit of luck. It's not come out great.
No.
Not come out great, a little bit harsh, but you were trusting to luck there.
Has he left an angle to screw back into that yellow? It looks fairly straight.
He might have done, yeah, but it's where the white's going to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Afterwards.
Yeah, eggs all in one basket, isn't it?
Yeah, ideally you'd love to screw straight back into the yellow half ball and flick it towards that top right corner, but the white's almost certain to be glued to where those two balls are right now, and then he's not likely not to be on a ball. So he's actually topping it through, and he's going to come back down for it later. We're going to see him come back.
He's going to try and land on it on the right-hand side, yeah.
Yeah, land on it as his last ball. So just need to do himself perfect on that one in the middle, and then it'll just be all about the pace of the shot. If you're too high on it, you're in trouble. But if you land just slightly, if you're too low on it, then you're in trouble. So you probably want to be just above where the line is.
Yeah.
It's nicely played. So it's all going to be about touch on this quick cloth. It's judgment at pace, and it's going to be a big shot. Obviously, early doors, big match. They're all big matches, but say it a lot. Difference between 2 each and 3-1 is big.
Yeah.
Obviously, that applies to every frame, but early doors, getting your stamping your authority, getting your game, getting ahead. One mistake isn't really punishable. You're still going to be level, even with a breaking dish after that. Just get ahead. Relax yourself.
And of course, this is double elimination, so the loser will have a second life. But the problem with that, it's a long route back, isn't it?
You play more for it, yeah. So I think to qualify from the winner's side is 5 matches.
Yeah.
For the single elimination, but I think if you lose your first match, I think you've got another 8. So,
Increases the schedule. While the winners are sat in their hotel room with their feet up relaxing, you're still busy trying to work your way back into the winner's side.
Yeah.
So there's 128 players. They're broken into groups of 16. Clint's just let that one go.
Too hard.
Yeah, and he's snookered himself. So that's a real problem as well, because there's nothing safe around the reds. So Darren will be eyeing this up eagerly.
Yeah, I think something along the lines of a hit and hope there. There's no value in just in guaranteeing yourself a hit and just rolling up to the yellow. you need to try and make this yellow because all the reds are out in the open in pole position. So potentially looking at a double if he can hit it fairly firm. Don't know if the double's on. Bit of a hit and hope for me. That is about as well as he could have expected or hoped for that to come out. But yeah, Darren looking good for 2 each now. Just not quite come. I think he's just come far enough, yeah. So he just needs to mind his mind the yellow going towards the corner pocket after he cannons into it after playing this red into the middle. But should be fine.
So don't forget, you can keep up to date with those scores around the room by going to Q Score. The Jason Owen Open is the name of the event. Ian Ali is still trailing. He's 6 frames to 4 behind against Usama Maskini.
See, Darren's just come a little bit low there and he's having to go around the angles. Wants to stay away from the black. He's just about okay. Needs to miss this yellow on the way back up as well. Perfect.
Jeremy Hooper, who was, I believe, the 7-4 second favourite for his match against Drew Hughes, is currently 7-3 up. He's streaking ahead.
He was the bet of the round.
Yeah. Yeah, for me too. Yeah.
Drew's a great player, but so's Jeremy. So for me, it was just an even game.
And Jeremy's got a world rules background, and he'll just grind it.
Yeah.
He loves a good grind. Jason Shaw, the other very interesting match against Shane Thompson, which is also being streamed, is currently locked together at 4 frames apiece.
Just gone 5-4 Jason. So 5-4 Jason at the moment, literally just gone 5-4 Jason. Richard King, bit of a comeback against Lewis Calca, 8-6 now.
Yeah.
And I think we were 8-2 at one point there. So Ian Ali on the comeback, 6-4. Yannick and Adam, 4-2 to Adam.
I'm actually surprised that they've played 6 frames in that game, because they're both...
I think they've been rushing.
Yeah. Someone's put them on the clock already.
Yeah.
2 players who definitely like a good tactical battle. Yeah.
It's a good game of chess over there. They're in a different tournament.
Yeah. In fact, Yannick is the only player I've ever seen that on his break, he normally gets the 10-second warning when he's on the clock, because his break takes about 45 seconds just to queue up for it.
It has to be said, what a player.
Oh, he's amazing.
What a player.
Yeah.
If he played quicker, people would talk about him as being one of the very, very, very best. I mean, people do. People know how good he is.
I mean, we covered him a couple of years ago from...
No,
we covered him a couple of years ago from Morley, from McHill's club, and in fact he played Clint Ianson in a money match, and he beat Clint Ianson on that day, which is
I think
something
he beat Chris
else.
Melling as well, didn't he?
He beat Chris Melling
Chris
the year
Melling
after,
gave him a head start,
Yeah.
and he lost by more than a head start, didn't he, or something like that.
And there's another player who's in action this weekend, Chris Melling. He'll be up on stream later on today. Again, what a fantastic player with a glittering career. One of the only, well, I think the only player to ever hold a pro card in all 3 disciplines of American 9-ball, 8-ball, and snooker at the same time. Which takes some doing to just be able to adapt to those 3 disciplines.
Yeah, and he really is like a fan's favourite to watch.
Yeah.
As a neutral, you know, if I'm watching a stream or I'm watching, he's the type of player you want to watch. You know, he's fast. He goes for his shots. He's ultra aggressive.
Yeah, an amazing cue action as well. It's just silky smooth.
And you see nobody like Chris when it comes to digging yourself out of trouble. As you probably seen with his viral video on.
Oh yeah. Amazing.
3 of the most ridiculous shots you'll ever see, and he did them all in the same frame. So, yeah, he should be great to watch, as always. Well, might see Clint screw into this red now. Just wanted to come a little bit further out so he could just screw straight up table, because if he plays it naturally, he's going to go into the red on the side cushion, and then, I mean, he should be fine.
Yeah, if he
might just see a little.
if he just screws into a half ball, then he should have a couple of options.
Yeah, just a gentle, soft screw. If he can do that without pushing the red too close towards the middle, he may just go a different route, because they are fairly easy.
And this stream table, I have to say, looks fantastic. It's been wrapped.
There's a few logos, aren't there?
Yeah, there's definitely some logos. And of course the strap line I mentioned earlier, when two worlds collide. And it really is very much when two worlds collide. It's one of the first events for a very long time where it's brought together the two factions united, and also the interest of people like Darren Appleton, Jason Shaw. And I know this is being watched around the world. A big buzz around Australia, especially after the Calcutta. We hope you enjoyed the Calcutta. It raised somewhere in the region of £70,000. Rusty Wheeler, what a character he is.
Yeah, funny
I'm sure
guy.
Rusty's tuned in.
Yeah, funny guy. So Clint has got himself into a little bit of trouble here. A little bit more trouble than before.
Yeah.
He had a margin of error there to basically go up to where the red is near the middle pocket. And he's just underhit that one, but obviously slightly awkward cueing. And over a long distance to screw back like that. It's not an easy shot, but this all stemmed from that one shot where he just underhit it and had to screw into the red near and pushed it towards the middle pocket. It just, the amount of times it just seems to escalate.
So he's going to have some traffic to navigate here. And what a fabulous shot that is. That is incredible. You could see him work out that angle just before he played the shot, and he couldn't have executed that any better. Incredible. So that one should be enough to see Clint Ianson retake the lead. And this is really turning into a great match. Very little between the two players. We did mention the bookmaker earlier. There is an in-house bookie, and also you can find him online. It's The Winning Post. His name is Jed Ronan, G-E-D Ronan. You can find him on Facebook. All of the odds are up on the Players Pool Event page. If you haven't done so already, do go across the Players Pool Event on Facebook and sign up to that page. Equally, if you haven't done so, do go across to the Big Productions page and give us a like. So yeah, sign up to that Players Pool Event page, and Jed's got all of the prices up there for the event, and also about half an hour before the round is due to start, he'll have the prices for the single matches. So get hold of Jed. You can bet through Facebook. You can just send him a PM, and he'll get your bet on. He takes accumulators, anything above a double. So yeah, doubles and upwards. And there will be some good value to be had this weekend for sure. The bookie doesn't always get it right, so please do take him for a ride. No one likes to see a rich bookie, let's be honest.
No, nobody.
A bit of a resurgence from Ian Alley. I take it these scores are updated 6 frames to 4.
No, 6 each now.
Oh, it's 6 each now.
6 each. And talking of resurgences, we've got Richard King 7-8.
George, sorry mate, how do I update that page? Because it doesn't update on its own. The top game is 6 all. There we go. Now we've got the updated scores from around the room. Jeremy Hooper, yet another frame under his belt. As he creeps closer towards the finishing line, he is 8 frames to 3 against Drew Hughes. And Drew is, really good established player. So will be a surprise to some people. Adam Davis against Yannick Bofi. That was always going to be a tough ask for Yannick. But he's 6 frames to 2 down.
I think this is Adam's club as well, isn't it? This is a local club. So.
It is, yeah. Cole Bedford. In fact, Craig Day told me that was his bet of the round.
Who's Cole?
Cole Bedford, yeah. He's currently 7-4 up against Matt Schofield. So Craig currently is right. I'm proving that one right. Gavin Robinson against Eddie Barker. Gavin is 9 frames to 3 ahead. And Jason and Shane, there's still nothing between them. 5 frames apiece. Those two great battlers. I mean, Shane Thompson, what an improved player he is over the last year or 18 months. He just doesn't seem to lose a game.
Don't I know?
Oh yeah.
Cheers, Nick.
Sorry, I
That's
didn't mean
me
to
done.
remind you about that one.
That's
Dan.
me done. Yep. I'll get my coat.
Just a tough opponent, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, very good Q action. Very consistent.
Yeah.
He's got good temperament. Shot selection spot as well. So just a tough nut to crack.
Rich King against Lewis Calcott. 16 frames under their belt. That's the fastest game by some way. That's 8 frames apiece.
Some distance. Yeah, that was I think 7-1, 8-2, 8-3 at one point to Lewis. So wow.
Gabe O'Malley's still struggling against Matt Brearley. Again, that was I'd probably pick that one as my. I think Matt was fairly short odds, but I fancied him for that one.
Yeah. Needs that to slow up. He's just about okay. It's all about what order he's going to take these balls in. Needs to leave himself a good angle on this one. I think he's just going to stun back a little to play the yellow into the bottom left-hand corner as we look at it. Or he may come right back for the yellow into the middle. Which he's done. Didn't need quite as much angle as that. That's the thing with that. He needed to be straighter if he could be, because then he's running through for the 2 yellows into the right middle. But he's just going to potentially run into this yellow. He may play it rakes aside to try and miss the yellow. But it doesn't need to be cannon anything here. So it's just falling a little bit tricky. You see Darren just taking his time. If he was straighter, he'd have played it by now.
Yeah, he recognises the importance of this shot. Even in the context of the match, he really needs to hang on to onto Clint's coattails. Just needs to stick with him.
It's a very good shot. It's a very clever shot from Darren. You don't lose that. You don't lose the experience. And obviously he's used to playing with bigger, bigger tip, heavier balls, bigger table, bigger pockets. But it's your delicate little shots, I suppose, that you may lose. Lose touch with. What was he? 10 years out of the game now.
Yeah.
But you're never going to lose that experience, that table knowledge, that just your pool brain.
I mean,
you're never going to lose that.
Even his patterns,
That's exactly what. Because he'll play a lot of 8-ball in America as well, and the patterns are the same. So I suppose you may land on a ball down the rail more often in American pool because the pockets are bigger. But yeah, you're never going to lose that knowledge, and we just saw a great example of it there, just using that Clint's ball as a to billiard his ball when he was just out of position there. So,
And for a lot of
Darren.
people, the big question over this event, and probably has been since they joined the event at a similar time a couple of months ago, was how Darren Appleton and Jason Shaw would perform. And they're certainly answering the questions. A lot of people thought that it would be a bit of a walk in the park for Shane and Clint, but these two locked together.
You're being harsh. You're harsh, man.
These two locked together, and Jason Shaw is currently 6 frames to 5 ahead against Shane Thompson. So could there be a bit of a shock on the cards?
This is the, and obviously it's up for debate, and I've spoke about it a few times with people, and I don't doubt that it's going to be difficult to adjust when you play American pool full time. I don't doubt that whatsoever. But one, they're really, really talented players. So, but two, they do it for a living. Yeah. How many people in this room hold a cue for a living? 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're 2 of them.
Yeah.
So, you know, yes, you need to adjust. I get that. I don't expect them to be, you know, to in the very first session be just as good as they ever was. But I don't think it makes that much difference, to be honest. Got to remember Darren, this was Darren's living until he was in his early 30s.
Yeah.
What's Darren now, 42?
Yeah, 42, yeah.
So this was Darren's living. English April was Darren's living for 15 years. You know, you're not going to lose it, I'm afraid, especially when you know, if he was an electrician for 10 years in America, I get it, but
Yeah.
you hold a cue every day. So I'm not surprised.
Just got that winning instinct.
Yeah, it's a natural competitive instinct. And
Yeah,
like
I don't think it was ever a question in my mind, but I know it's certainly been a debating point for quite some time.
Well, it was obviously, it's always going to be a hindrance, yeah? But it's just how much, isn't it? And it's just, obviously the key really, we don't really know how much time has Darren put in, how much time has Jason put in. If they've put 100 hours in over the last month, then I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be back to their best.
Yeah, that's a great point.
If they've had 3 knocks in the last week in the lead up to it, then yeah, fair enough. I don't expect them to do, but only they'll know. They might not tell you the truth anyway. You know what they're like? Oh no, I've barely been playing. Yeah, all right, we'll see. Ultra aggressive from Darren there.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in control with the bag covered over there, so he didn't need to do that, but
It's not come out particularly well for him.
I think he can make a plant here, so it's not too bad. It's not a gimme, far from a gimme, but it's not that difficult, given that he's quite close to the to the first red. And naturally, he's going to naturally just come back up table as well. So that's well played, a good shot. So it's a simple cannon from Darren.
Yeah, it looks fairly natural just there.
Yeah, red bottom left, and then promote the other red towards the corner, and then it's just a case of one good positional shot to get on to get on the ball nearest the black.
Yeah.
Needs to leave himself the right angle off the one in the middle.
And a great opportunity now for Darren to take the lead for the first time, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, he's 1-0 down, 1 each, 2-1 down, 2 each, 3-2 down. So he'd like to be a little bit lower, but, but he's okay.
Just slightly straighter, but he can force this.
Yeah, makes this shot a little bit more difficult than it was. Again, all about touch.
Yeah, he's overcooked that one slightly, and he's in trouble here. He's,
I think he was trying to play it with a little bit of side.
A little bit of side, yeah.
But reverse side, so he was expecting it to kick in
just
after it,
didn't
the
take.
cushion, but
Yeah, I expected him to come above the yellow rather than.
well, like we said, if he was just a little bit lower the shot before,
Yeah,
it would have just been a case of a simple stun-up table, and then you'd have had a big margin of error to land him. But when you're having to punch those and cheat the pocket, it just makes it a little bit more difficult.
And look at this, he's got the he's got the extension playing over the top of the black. I mean, this is. just not nice.
Well, yeah, I think he's looking at going cushion first. I think you're probably better off because,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you're not going to make that cut, are you? It's so difficult to make that cut.
And in all honesty, if he plays it just around about pocket weight, he's not leaving Clint a massive amount. Clint's going to have the ball nearest the bulk line, kind of to the right of the black. Possibly going to have that into the middle, but
He's bought himself some time
yeah, yeah.
with these rules because obviously, but yeah,
Okay,
advantage Clint.
Yeah, he's left this one. He's left this long now, and I don't think Clint will even be going for this one. You can see Matt Brearley in the background there.
10-1 up now, Matt.
Wow. As I said earlier, Matt just doing what Matt does. He's just such a consistent player.
Super steady.
Yeah. They call him the robot, and it's hardly a surprise.
Well, Clint's just
Could have played that slightly better, couldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he was playing the snooker. He wasn't playing the pot, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's just drifted a little, but it's that's such a big margin of error. Darren was always going to be snooker there, so it's not too much harm.
But has he left him a one cushion escape? Whereas you would think if he got further across the left, then
That's what he wanted. He wanted a thicker contact and
Yeah,
to
yeah.
leave only a 2 cushion escape. So.
Yeah.
It's just from here for Darren. I mean, what do you do?
exactly, yeah.
Is there any value in just playing it with rakes the left-hand side and rolling into it? Are you better? I mean, because it's still going to be wedged into that corner, and you're still probably going to be snookered next time.
And of course, this being world rules, he's choosing to play a DF and just push another yellow up over. That's not a bad option, you know. It's,
No, it's old experience.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Old master of the rules.
I was sat here with my. I mean, it's. I asked earlier, you know, how the player finds it at the top level to move between the rule sets, and I certainly I find it difficult, you know, because 1 week we're commentating on black ball and then it's world rules, and it's
Yeah,
trying to switch
yeah.
that in your head. It's and I'm similar to you, Dan. I mean, where I come from, it's only really world rules that are played down there. So this is my strongest set, but.
See Clint's trying not to. Yes, that's a good shot. So he's made his first ball, and he's got one of them out.
Yeah, promoted one. He would have liked to get a couple out there, but
Yeah, I think the key really was to make sure he made the ball and keep his 2 shots in hand.
now the
Also
question
2
is now,
shots
does he play the yellow into rail and try and promote everything, and just go for game here? Because the problem is he doesn't really have. Well, he's got this cut, but I mean there's no real other attacking shots because he has no angle to try and get into those balls. And what he's trying to do here is try to leave an angle, but he's not got far enough across the table. So
Yeah, I think with 2 shots carry though, I mean
you can bust him out or play a double even, can't you? I mean you can pop this in the top corner, screw back and play a double.
It's got many options.
Yeah.
But the key really is to don't, if you're going to attack, be careful, because you're such a big favourite with. I mean, they're such an easy snooker today. You can maybe pot a ball and keep your 2 shots in hand, get one of your bad ones out, then lay another snooker. So the only thing that should let Clint down in this frame is shot selection, and that I like that shot because he's got an easy double now, and I call them easy doubles because this is your ideal double into the middle, just off straight. This is a 9 out of 10 for these top players, these doubles, and he's naturally gonna get into these 2 yellows that are on the side cushion. So with his 2 shots carried on after this should be frame over. Don't need to hit it too hard. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, he's still counting his 2 shots, so he's.
Yeah, I think he can. I think he's the angle I wouldn't until you're right behind it, but I think you can play this yellow into the bottom right corner as we look at it.
Yeah.
And
Find the gap between black and yellow, perhaps.
Yeah,
Or
take the white. No, just take the white over to the right hand side of the table.
Yeah.
Still got his 2 shots. He's actually end up clearing these with 1. I think he's missed it.
yeah,
He's missed it, but it's fine.
yeah. Didn't expect that, but of course, being world rules, he's carrying that second shot. So this again should be a formality.
It's just been that neither's really got into the stride yet, have they?
No.
Couple of mistakes each that you wouldn't expect. There's the pressure of playing in such a big event, you know. Lewis Calcott, the first guy through, raced away from 8 each, 11-8 now.
That's incredible. They
And,
played 19 frames
in
around about an hour and a half.
yeah. Jason Shaw 7-5 up now on Shane Thompson. You see on our other stream table, Jeremy Hooper 9-4 up, Declan Brennan 8-5 up on Jake Dillon Newlove, Ian Ellis 7 each with the Moroccan Usama Maskini. He was 7-2. 7-2 to beat Ian, he was.
Was he?
Yeah.
Goodness me.
Phil Malam 6, Daz Lightfoot 4, Craig Brown 6, Ian Duffy 5, Cole Bedford 7, Matthew Schofield 5, Gav Robinson 9, Eddie Barker 4. It's like I'm calling bingo. Yeah, it's the bingo. Martin Goddard 3, Phil Naylor 5.
Now you sound like the guy off the football on the Saturday afternoon.
Funny enough, that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
Colin Finn 6, Dave McNamara 8. Cameron Dunlop and Alex Bailey 5-3 to Alex Bailey. So they're going for the slow prize with
8 frames in, yeah.
with Yannick and Adam. Well, pretty roughly to time at the moment though.
Yeah.
12:30 the next session.
Gavin Robinson's picked off another one against Eddie Barker, now 10 frames to 4.
Yeah, a bit of a shock that, I think.
Yeah.
Not a shock because he's not good enough, but Gavin not overly clued up about the rules.
And an absolute live wire around the table, isn't he?
Oh, he's like a jack in the box.
He's a live wire everywhere, to be
Yeah.
honest. You see him outside and he's just bouncing from foot to foot.
You ask him how's day been, you better have half an hour spare. That's when he's just woke up as well. I'll just tell you about his previous. He doesn't stop. Great guy though, funny guy. Character. See there another dry break from Clint, and Darren just looking at playing the red onto the yellow, but wants to get the red out of the way. Doesn't want to cover the pocket afterwards. He's played it perfectly. He's actually made a bigger pocket for himself. So good shot from Darren. Just going to take a little bit of working out down table with these 3 yellows in and around the line as we look at it. It's all going to be about cue ball control when he gets up that end of the table. It's a harsh one really, because you look now and you think, was he yellows? I mean, reds look so much better, but obviously the red and the yellow that were over that top right corner pocket at the start of the frame literally gave him no choice. He had to take the weaker set, but
So I recognise that people are joining us throughout the morning. It's a very warm welcome to you. We're Beard Productions and we're covering the Supreme Pool Series. This is the Jason Owen Open. This is the first game to get us underway. It's Clint Jansen against Darren Appleton. What a way to start the weekend. We're actually streaming 4 tables. You'll find them all on YouTube. And also you'll find links to them on, I believe, on the Beard Productions page, but certainly on the Players Pool event page.
all about the angle Daz leaves there. Needs to be needs to be straight. And there's a perfect camera angle. I think he's just about perfect. And he's straight down. He's going to come above the red. Doesn't need to flick it. It's perfect. It's a good finish.
The work that's gone into this event over the last months has just been incredible. Lee Kendall has worked tirelessly along with the rest of the team. And there's a big shout out to all those guys. I know Paul and George, certainly Paul's putting so much effort into this, and it's certainly showing as we watch Darren Appleton draw things level against Clint at 4 frames to 4. My name's Nick Finn. I'm with Dan Davey on commentary.
Yeah, good match. Neither can sort of wriggle away from each other. I think it's I think it's gone 1-0 Clint, 1-1, 2-1 Clint, 2 each, 3-2 Clint, 3 each, 4-3 Clint, 4 each. Carries on like that in about 2 hours' time. We'll be commentating on the deciding frame.
And Shane Thompson's pulled another one back against Jason Shaw. What time are you on, Dan?
7-6, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. And who have you got in your first round?
I've got Arth and Dad.
Oh,
Tough game,
tough,
but
tough opponent. Yeah,
but you don't expect to.
There's not too many easy ones, is there?
No.
You can look through that draw, and there's a couple you think, yeah, that's not too bad, but there's not many.
No, I think it's better the devil you know in a way as well, because there's a good 30-40 players that I don't know.
Yeah.
And they're obviously very good.
Yeah.
So you know, it's,
and you'll have locked horns with our fun.
I actually never played him.
Have you not?
Never played him. No.
Oh wow.
But I've seen him play.
Yeah.
So I know sort of what he plays like, but yeah, one match at a time. See how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Darren's a break, and Darren's definitely broke the better of the two so far. See Darren breaking with his American pool cue, or some sort of American version, I think.
I think that's one of the Predator cues, I believe. Could be mistaken. And look at that break. I mean, people talk about balls staying on the on the sheet. There's nothing
nowhere near it.
Nothing anywhere near it. And we, out of the 9 breaks that we've had so far, I think the rest had to mark 1 ball. So it's doing its job, although that was a dry break from Darren.
Mm. Arguments for both sets of colours here. I think if you're going to go yellows, you may play red onto yellow first into this right middle. Play the plant. If you're going to go red, he hasn't really got an easy starter on reds. I don't think the reds at the top right of the table, I think they're covering each other.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you may see him go reds because he's then only really got 1 bad ball. Yeah, tricky finish.
So he's going to
so
open up with the plant, but it's...
Is that a dead set plant?
Just had to make it.
He tried to go into the... he doesn't want that to drop, actually.
No.
Yeah, he'd have preferred that staying up.
Okay, so he's still got another ball just adjacent to the right middle, which he can use. Certainly not on this shot, but maybe later in the frame he can use that to try and break open.
And the shot he played before, though, he was trying to actually go into them off of that plant, but he just flicked. He just went to the left of the red, so it's still a problem area.
I think what makes this clearance even more difficult, there's no real natural pattern for the balls, is there? There's no natural path from one to the next. They're all very awkward, so he's looking at taking this difficult ball now.
It's a great shot. It's a great shot from Clint.
Still in a bit of trouble. I think he can clip this back into the middle.
Yeah, slightly hampered cueing though, which makes this a little... It's fairly difficult as it is, but I think the natural angle, you are going into the red and yellow together. I think the problem you've got, and we can see Clint eyeing it up now.
Where that yellow goes.
Yeah, you don't want to get...
Could easily tie up amongst the 2 reds, couldn't it?
Yeah, you don't want that. But I think it probably is going to. So he might play this a little bit harder than you might expect, because he can't just rest into it. It's a good shot. Had to play it firm, and he has.
Yeah. If that goes past the black, he's okay.
Yeah.
I think it does. Should be absolutely fine. He can use that as his last ball to get his position on the black. So Eddie Barker making a small resurgence. He's now 10-4 behind. Ian Ali has levelled things against Usama Maskini. It's 8 frames apiece. Yannick is not starting off the way he would have wanted to. A long journey over from France last night. I know that they've got some problems with traffic strikes, haven't they, all over in France? And anyway, Adam is currently 8-2 up on Yannick. But Yannick won't make it easy for him. Cole Bedford, 8 frames to 5 against Matt Schofield. That's a great scoreline for Cole. Jason Shaw and Shane Thompson still that same scoreline, 7 frames to 6 in favour of Jason. So just left this double, and this is similar to the double earlier. But I just wonder if it's one of those doubles that you really want to play it as a stun shot, but he needs to get on the black. So he played that really well, really well. Needed to avoid any double kiss, but that wasn't in question. And he's left this fairly simple black by their standards. These tables are playing wonderfully well. And Clint restills a lead. As we said before, nothing between these two players. A great match to open up the event. Alex Bailey and Cameron Dunlop tick off another frame. Alex is 6 frames to 3 up. David McNamara against Colin the Showman Finn. David is 9 frames to 7 up.
Still 7-6 Jason Shaw.
That's a long frame for those two.
Must be a long frame.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got it on the other table, have we? They're having a bit of a tactical battle.
Yeah, I think so. We've got Yannick and Adam up on that stream, so.
3 people through now. Gav Robinson, Lewis Calcutt, Matt Brearley. Jeremy Hooper on the hill, 10-4 against Drew Hughes. Ian Ali locked at 8-all with the Moroccan. Usama Maskini, 7-2, 8 each. I wonder if anyone backed him. Clint now changing his break, going for the cut break, which interesting to see because he hasn't had much success on his break so far, and obviously he's made a ball. Now he hasn't been able to sort of. I mean, Daz has just held on to him, hasn't he? You know, neither have hit full gear, have hit top gear yet, but it's yeah, he just hasn't managed to wriggle too clear. And you think he's been 1 frame ahead 5 times in this match now. Breaking next, so not a single break finish from Clint. You know, and you'd normally expect him to break clear roughly anything from 30 to 50% of his frames.
Yeah.
Hasn't managed one yet, but hasn't been making a ball off the break. So,
and there we see with the cut break, as we so often see, the side that you break from, the balls tend to congregate on that side, don't they, after the break? So there's 3 or 4 balls tied up on that left-hand cushion.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many pros and cons to it. I never know whether to give it a go or not. I sort of refuse to. You know, I believe you should just whack them.
Yeah.
If in doubt, hit them harder.
Yeah.
But you know, is it worth doing more on a slow table because you definitely get a split then, or is there even more reason to do it on a quick table because you don't have to admit? It's just $1 million question, really. If anyone knew the answer, they'd be a rich man.
And of course, the cut break's been around for a long time, but more people using it since Martin Boyle kind of started perfecting it, and I mean, he just smashes it. It's incredible.
Oh, there's a skill to it. Don't get me wrong, but ultimately, it obviously doesn't. There obviously isn't one that definitely works over another because otherwise everybody would be doing one. So it's just one of those debates, really, isn't it? Good shot from Clint. When he went into those 2 reds 2 shots ago, they didn't quite come out perfect. So you see there's still a problem area for him now. He's got two options. He can either stun into it now or screw into it now, or he can play it with top and hit them from behind. But you probably want to screw into it, because if you hit them from behind, you're going to be pushing the red towards the middle
two
pocket.
yellows, yeah.
Yeah, they can get tied up with the yellow. So probably going to see Clint try and dig into this, and but needs to hit high on this first red, not low. Otherwise, the white's going towards the corner. Good shot.
Played that perfectly well. Super shot from Clint, and that one really opens up the frame for him. Now, really, his I guess our eyes turn towards the black. It's a tricky ball. I mean, it will.
I think he can drop it.
Just having a look at it now, I think, isn't he? It will drop in the middle, but it's.
Yeah, it's not an easy shot, but it's all about cue ball control. If you can get close to it, it's fairly easy.
And he's got the ball near the top left, which gives him, well, either one of the top balls, to be honest, gives him perfect opportunity to land on that black.
He'd ideally like to play it off of the red that's top left.
Yeah.
So see how much of an, obviously it's much easier to get on the ball in the top left now, but we see Clint's made a bit more of an effort to get round the table. Deliberately played that two cushions so that he can take this red into the top right first. So just, yeah, clear thinking from Clint, and he's put himself in a really good position. So needs to leave himself a good angle off this, because you do want to get as close to that black as possible.
Yeah, somewhere near where the white ball is now, just to the left-hand side of that, somewhere near the bulk line would be, just perfect. I think he's got a lovely angle just to stun down.
Two ways to play it. You can stun up, or you can play it with a tracer left and go into the cushion and come back out. Some sort of personal preference. That's perfect. If he could put it anywhere with his hand, he'd put it there.
Yeah. So this black for a two-frame lead, the first time either player would have managed to stretch out any kind of lead. It's just been one frame in it all the way through.
Yeah, and this for the first break finish from Clint.
Clint just taking his time, asking for the cue ball to be cleaned. You can understand why. It's
negative thoughts, that is.
It is, yeah.
He's thinking of a kick.
Yeah. He may equally have just spotted a little bit of chalk there and just doesn't want that to take his mind off the shot. So just in front of us, Lee Kendall, the organiser of the event, just having a chat with Greg Batten, who's in action later today. A lot of players have made their way up from the southwest area. Darren McVicker's here with Jez Graham and his brother Jamie, all from that area. Of course, Jeremy Hooper's made the trip up, Mike King from the Exeter area, and also Greg Batten, all making the journey.
We saw them yesterday. They were in a restaurant yesterday. I've come up with a mate of mine, and we've seen the Southwest lads. They're in a steakhouse, and there's 5 of them, and they're playing spoof for the bill.
Oh.
And it all got a bit heated over there.
Oh dear.
It was funny. It was funny to watch.
Yeah. And also just joined that gathering. It's good to see Rob Chilton in the building. Rob Chilton, having taken a couple of years away from the game, the last time I spoke to him, which was in Morley, he was a bit down because his eyesight was playing him up a little bit. And
Who, Rob's?
Yeah. He gets some. He's kind of got a permanent. I don't know how to put it really. Just kind of floaters in the eye sort of thing, which was really putting him off when he was playing the team. Yeah, maybe something like that. Yeah, and I don't remember the exact issue, but it was certainly detracting from his game. So he decided to hang his cue up. And after 2 years away and the announcement of the Supreme Series, he decided to pick it back up again. He thought this was far too good an opportunity. Rob will be joining us on commentary later on as well for one of the later matches. A great eye for the game. A fantastic player. We saw him play a money match just recently against another player who's in action over these next couple of days in Brian Halcrow, who's come down from the northeast. Rob won't have had too far to come. He's from the Midlands himself. Would have made the journey with Lee Washbrook, who's also in the event.
Darren just gone for a toilet break, I think.
So Ian Alley, having been, I think he was 6-2 down at one point, wasn't he? He's now taking the lead at 9 frames to 8. In fact, let's just give that an update and see exactly.
See Darren, this break getting even more important now that he's gone 2 frames behind for the first time in the match. But he has been hitting them well. Oh, he's hit them so well. How's he not made a ball? Is the red going to drop in the middle? Last ball rolling. Literally last turn of the ball. I think at first glance, I think all of these yellows go. I think yellows will be the choice. Just coming to see now. You can see where he's looking down. That's his only problem area. I think it goes. If it does go, not many obstacles here. Should be looking at 6-5. Going straight up to that area. Now, perhaps it didn't go because we may see him now. He's definitely left himself the angle to go into that yellow and just push it towards that top left corner pocket. So perhaps it didn't go. We'll soon see from his shot selection. Well, if it does go, you can see from the way he's crouching down, if it does go, he hasn't got a full pocket.
So as we previously mentioned, you can catch all of the draw and all of the live scores if you go across to qscore.com. And if you Google QScore and the Jason Owen Open, it'll take you straight to the page.
You see here, talking of scores, Jason Shaw now 10-6 up on Shane Thompson.
Wow.
And Jeremy Hooper now 10-6 up on Drew Hughes. Ian Alley 9-8 up against our Moroccan friends.
Well, that Jason Shaw scoreline is going to make or break some accumulators today for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, it always was. People are going to side with either one of those players quite heavily, I think, and that will be in a lot of people's accumulators.
Yeah. As with this match, I think.
As with this game, yeah.
Yeah, because I think both similar, really, because they've both been out of the game. You know, they've both actually come into the second favourites, which to some people will seem strange. But
I know we've mentioned the point about Jason's comeback into English 8 without labouring the point. I remember a comment from somebody saying that Shane wins that one easily, and there was just two words from Jason Shaw. He just said, "We'll see."
Yeah. Yeah, just nonsense. You could justify Shane being favourite, but to say that Shane wins easily is just an idiot comment. Good finish from Darren.
So we are streaming 4 tables today across YouTube. If you want to navigate to any of those, if you go to playerspoolevents.com, then you will be able to see any of those 4 games, and you'll just be able to click on them, choose which one you want to watch. There's 4 great games in action. Yannick Bofi is currently playing Adam Davis, which is on table 3. That one's a bit one-sided. Adam is running away with that one. He's 10 frames to 2 up. Colin Finn and David McNamara tied together at 9 frames each. Jeremy Hooper is on the hill against Drew Hughes, 10 frames to 6.
Another ball made from the break from Clint. One problem area, whether you go reds or yellows. It's taking a little bit of time. Obviously, if he goes yellows, his first yellow probably has to be the cut into the left middle, but then the white's going towards this red. If he goes reds, his first red isn't as easy a shot, but
I think he's
probably got to go reds, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
Or the other option, you go yellows, play the plant into the middle, which will give you a natural angle to get your bad yellow out, but trust him to look here a little bit. It's not come out great.
no, that was always a problem. And the thing was about that shot, he would have, I mean, that was really his only yellow, but he would have dearly loved to leave that one to attack the problem on the left hand rail.
Yeah, just trusting too much to luck, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's easy, in hindsight it's easy, isn't it? But perhaps taking the more difficult first shot and gone reds, and then giving yourself 5 or 6 balls to get into your bad area, or I don't know. It was a tough layout, wasn't it? You would prefer yellows, but that was always going to be a tough first shot.
So he's just tried to tie things up. I mean, you could hear the ref counting down the clock, so it was a bit of a rush in the end from Clint.
Has he left the angle?
I was just wondering that myself. I was just about to suggest whether there's
Yeah, I think
it looks like it's just too much, doesn't it?
maybe. Darren will know better because he's right behind the shot, but if that white ball was just half a roll further down table, he'd be absolutely perfect to just screw into, and then everything else goes, but I don't know if he can do it now.
So we heard 10 seconds remaining, and Darren quickly calls an extension. So I would suggest that he doesn't have that angle, because I think he would have already been into that shot. So he's just looking now at playing a developing shot. He's going to play a containing shot, just leave this white ball in amongst the reds, but he's not played that particularly well. He would have wanted that white right in amongst these reds and cover the gap to this long yellow to top corner. So Shane Thompson pulls back another frame against Jason Shaw, now trails 10 frames to 7.
You see the betting's out as well for the 12:30 session. You want to have a look on the Players Pool events.
Yeah, so the Facebook page, Players Pool Events, Darren, Jed has put up the prices. I see John McAllister, fairly hot favourite against Dom Cooney.
Do you know much about Dom?
No, I don't, no.
Me neither. Is that Carl Morris?
Yes, it is Carl Morris, yeah. Carl Morris is playing
Ben
Tanner, yeah. 5 to 6 each. Interesting. Jamie Graham is 1 to 10. I'm not sure Mr. Steele is. I'm not. Okay, so similar problem here for Darren as he approaches the table. Clint not left him any angle to attack that bad ball. So you may even see him play another containing shot, but I think probably has to attack from here. Omar Mounchid, who's, I believe, another player who's come across from Morocco, playing Ben Rowland. They're 5 to 6 each.
Yeah, 5 to 6 the pair, 5 to 6 Ben Tanner and Carl Morris. I think that'll attract a bit of Ben Tanner, very talented player, but obviously Carl Morris being a former world champion, I think you'll get a lot of loyalty bets on that one. Yeah.
One of the stream games is Rob Warren, I think, is playing
Ryan
Gary
Clark.
Clark. Is it Ryan or Gary?
Gary Clark's with an E, so I presume this
right.
is Ryan
Yep.
Clark, I believe, from the northeast. Dunster 1 to 3 to beat Andrew McKee.
Interesting, Cy Fitzsimmons is 4 to 6 to beat Darren McVicker,
Yeah,
who's 11 to 10.
it's a good value, is it, Mavica? Do you think?
Oh, I mean,
I make that a bit of a coin flip for me. I actually said to my mate, the last 4 games, you got O'Donoghue Chipperfield coin flip, Nosco Dempsey coin flip, Fitzsimmons McVicker coin flip,
Yeah.
Raybone Waddingham coin flip, and 2 of them are both 5 to 6. And
I was talking to Darren before the match as well, and he is absolutely loving this cloth. He thought it was going to slide a little bit. He's been practicing.
Who?
Darren McVicker, yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was saying that all he plays on is blue, and he was really worried about what the cloth was going to do up here.
Yeah.
But they came up yesterday, and they had a good session playing on it, and he loves it.
Yeah.
I remember in the elite event, he was fairly long odds to beat Ronan McCarthy, and he swept him aside, something like 17-9. So Darren, very, very destructive player. If he hits his straps, then he could blow away Simon. But of course, no disrespect to Simon, because Simon is, equally a fabulous player.
Definitely.
World finalist last year, was he? Am I right in thinking that? Was
Simon
it semi-final
Fitzsimmons?
or final in the IPA?
Final.
It was final, wasn't
year
it?
before last, yeah.
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 Beaten by Craig Marsh
He was indeed, yeah.
in the final. Yeah.
Yeah, I think 4-1 in
So,
sets. And
real pedigree there, but I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Darren McVicker. I mean, I'm a little bit biased because Darren's one of my favourite players as well. So
he's great to watch, isn't he?
fabulous to watch.
Is he on the
yeah.
stream?
I think they are on one of the stream tables. Yeah, I won't swear to it. I'd have to look at the lineup. Of course, 4 tables being streamed. I'd be surprised if that one's not on one of them. So the main streamed game for the next round is going to be Carlo Donoghue against Sean Chipperfield. And that's another fabulous match. And I think over on table 3, the second stream match is Max Nosco against Stevie Dempsey. And I know one of the other stream games is going to be Neil Rayburn against Craig Waddingham. So
Be a great game.
I'd assume that the 4th one would be Darren McVicker, but I would need to confirm that.
Is Darren back to 6 each now?
Yeah, indeed. After Clint taking that 2-frame lead, nothing between them again.
They've upped it a level now, this last sort of half an hour or so. 6 each. Yeah, they've upped it a level now. They've sort of hit top gear now.
So Darren, we see with this big tipped American cue. Look at that for a split.
Wow.
Goodness me. Well,
Someone's had his Weetabix.
yes, yeah. And yellows are virtually as simple as they get. There's not a bad ball on the table. I don't want to tempt fate because I often do that. But you would expect Darren to go about these in very, very quick fashion. And even the pattern's pretty good. It's just a natural shake from one ball to the next.
fairly easy layout as well, and from 6-4, Clint's not had a sniff. It's looking like going 7-6 down. I'm just making sure he takes the balls in the right order. Often when you get these easy finishes, you do see some players just kind of rush a little bit because they're so easy you can't miss them. And before you know it, they've not given the finish the respect it deserves. And wow, cannot believe what I've just seen there. Cannot believe what I've just seen. I think it's what I was talking about. He just isn't giving it the respect it deserves.
Yeah.
Such an easy finish, and wow.
Plus the fact that I cursed him.
Yeah. He'll be cursing himself after that.
I think he will.
Not easy though. Not easy from here at all for Clint. And but these are one of those finishes you just need to get. When your opponent plays a shot, misses a ball that they've just missed like that, you need to get, especially at 6 each. Tough finish though. Needs to land on this one down the cushion. I think he's perfect to just stun up behind it and play this into the bottom left corner, and then don't want to be straight on it though. Key. The angle you leave here is absolutely key.
And going back to Clint, his no surprise is what would he like to achieve in the pool world? Well, he'd like to become world champion, and well, who's to say that he won't? Still a young man, age 30, and all the ability in the world. I know that he's been practicing a lot with Gareth Potts recently, kind of turning slightly towards Chinese 8-ball, but still very much a firm fixture on that English 8-ball list. When asked for a funny story or interesting or unique fact about him, he just put, "I'm rubbish at breaking." Not been doing too bad in this. Well, that was a tough shot, and he's tried to play it at pace. They will take them at pace, but he just didn't quite connect it right. And
He's hit it too hard, if anything.
yeah, you can't see Darren making a second mistake with his second bite of the cherry.
Doesn't want that to go too far though, because doesn't want to be taking the white on too much of a travel if he doesn't have to. So we did see Jason Shaw just come through, and I think he's beaten
Yep.
Shane, has he?
He has, yeah, he's beaten Shane. I believe it was 11-7, so well done to Jason Shaw. He progresses through, and Shane Thompson takes a little wander across to the loser's side.
Yeah, well, tough draw for somebody in that loser section. Tough score. See, Darren just taking his time. He doesn't want to. He's done before, so well, he's okay. But,
Yeah.
Needs to make sure the yellow doesn't go away from the pocket after he pot assist. Doesn't want to catch cushion first.
That's fine.
Perfect. Yeah.
And you can see now there's a shot that just needed playing. It didn't need any side on it, but you can see. I mean, the Americans very, very much on a 9-ball table. They play every shot with some form of side, and you can see that's where Darren's pedigree's been for so long, because even that shot that he could have played quite naturally plays with the left-hand side.
Yeah.
I think most players in the arena would have just played that natural ball and probably had a very, very similar outcome. But Darren, it's just natural for him to use side on virtually every shot. I think Efren Reyes was one of the people who, I think they brought a video out, and it was called a TOR, a touch of right, TORE maybe, touch of right English, and basically he uses side. It was just to emphasise that he uses side on every shot.
Ian Ali now 10-9 up against Usama Moschini.
That's a real battle, that game, isn't it?
Yeah. Jeremy Hooper through 11-6. Adam Davis through 11-2. Cole Bedford through 11-6. Gav Robinson through 11-4. Jason Shaw, big match, beat Shane Thompson 11-7. Lewis Calcutt through 11-8. Matt Brody through 11-2. Other matches going to the wire. We've got Colin Finn 10-9 up against Dave McNamara. Phil Malam 9-6 up against Daz Lightfoot. Craig Brown 8-5 up against Ian Duffy. Jake Dylan Newlove 10-8 down to Declan Brennan, I think from Ireland. This game currently, obviously we're watching on the stream table, 7-6 to Darren from 6-4 down. Martin Goddard training 8-3 to Phil Naylor. And the last game, Cameron Dunlop 8-5 down to Alex Bailey. Dave Fernandez obviously had a baby.
Yep.
Couldn't make the first event, so Adam Marlowe's gone through to the winners round 2.
We did mention earlier the fact that the ref occasionally has to mark a ball to get the supreme rack off the table, and we said probably 1 in 10. Well, there you go. That was one. That was the second one in 14 frames. So it's about on target to what we imagined.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I don't think players mind as long as it means you're getting a consistent split every time. I don't think it bothers people.
So I think the Jason Shaw game was the only one that's broken my accumulator.
Who else did you have?
I had I have to think about this or open my phone.
You don't want to offend anyone, do you? That's what it is.
I'm very much a fence sitter. I had Jeremy Hooper, Adam Davis, Cole Bedford, Shane Thompson. No, I tell a lie. I didn't have Adam Davis. I had Matt Brearley. And I had Clint in this game, so
so it would have all been right on this if
it would have all
Shane
been
would have
riding
got the
on
job
this.
done.
Yeah, that's right. But I've got a
Heard
feeling
some very biased commentary then.
never big fence sitter. But I did see Dermot Vickers. He showed me his betting slip before before the kickoff, and I got a feeling he's in the middle of. I think he needs this game for a very nice result. There might have been one more, but he definitely had Adam Davis in there. There were 5 matches. He had Jeremy Hooper, Adam Davis. I can't remember a couple of them, but it was a 5-fold, and he's very close to what would be a very nice score because there was a couple of outsiders in there.
Dave McNamara now 10 each. So our first deciding frame of the session against Colin Finn. And Jake Dylan Newlove back to 10-9 down now against Declan. Ian Alley 10-9 up against Usama Moschini.
So we mentioned the prices and the bookmaker. Jed Ronan is the bookie. You'll find him on the Players Pool Events Facebook page. You'll see all the prices up there for the outrights. I know that before the off, I think they were joint favourites. Phil Harrison and Tom Cousins. I believe they were 6-1 each.
Yeah, I think so. 6 and 7-1.
Yeah.
They've come in quite a bit.
They have. In fact, a few players have come in a long way. Another one was Mark Farnsworth. I think he opened at around about 12s, I think, and in no time at all he was into 9s, and then I think he went off at around about 7s.
Nicely played from Clint there as well, and one you'd expect him to get, but under pressure. 7-6 down from 6-4 up under pressure, and a good finish from Clint.
Good solid black. And he levels things up again. 7 frames each, and still not a fag paper between these two players.
No, just about to see a fag paper between the balls and the cloth where he gets up now. Really fine, isn't it? Have you held one?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, really thin. Obviously, it needs to be.
Shane Conroy, who developed this, sent me through a couple of the version 1s and also some of the version 2s just to test out. I must admit, I've not had a chance. I tested version 1 and I really liked it. Not had a chance with version 2 yet. But so far from what I've seen, it looks equally impressive. I know that it was just slightly, maybe the same width as version 1, but I think the holes might have been just slightly more defined just to make it easier to rack. And you can see the referee not taking too much time, doing it as instructed, 2 balls at a time. It's not too difficult. I mean, it's. I have also seen players put them into a rack and then move them up onto the shark rack. But there you can see, I mean, the benefit of this, every ball touching, just everything linked to everything else. And I remember talking to Darren Appleton, goodness me, a good few years ago now, and Darren was saying everyone finds that everyone tries, or say the importance of the break is having the balls around the black all touching each other.
Yeah.
But he said that's not a fact. The fact is you need the back 9 balls each touching each other, because that's where the energy disperses right through the back of the pack.
Good point. Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, because after so many times I've given up. You know, when you're on a club table and it just the top ball rolls away.
Yeah.
And you just give up. You know, I'll sod it, that'll do. And you still get a nice split. You know, so I think that's something to be said for that. I've never really paid that much attention to it, obviously down to it, but, you know. But yeah, it's probably a really good point. I think see Darren use the cut break there.
yeah, yeah, very
Changed,
interesting.
and I thought he was breaking pretty well, to be honest.
He
to
was,
start with, and
yeah.
surprised to see him change, but look at those yellows.
I mean, especially after his last break, which was, I mean, it was an absolute
Surprising.
monster.
Maybe it was because he came up and studied the rack. They came up and studied the rack, and obviously you can't ask for them to be re-racked. So maybe he saw something that he didn't like.
Yeah.
Which you wouldn't expect, but yeah, interesting that he changed his break. It's weird. But look at him come out. I mean, if he doesn't cut break next time, I'll be very surprised. Let's see here from Darren. He had quite a few options there as to how and what order he took these balls in, and you see, like all the top players do, he just took those. He got 5 easy balls there, but he just took that extra 30, 45 seconds or whatever he's allowed, just to decide with a bit of conviction how exactly he wants to go about it. You know,
just choosing his exact path.
Yeah. Should be good here for 8-7, Darren.
So Darren retakes the lead, 8 frames to 7. And let's just take a look at some of those updates. Colin Finn and David McNamara now hill, 10 frames apiece. Ian Ali is still 10 frames to 9. Phil Naylor, I mean, that one, fairly slow game actually. Phil playing Martin Goddard, he's 9 frames to 4 up.
So, Dave McNamara here in a deciding frame. This match is really hard up now. I think the last 6 frames have been. I don't think we've seen a mistake. I think it's just been what I think. No, I think it's 6 each. Darren made his 1 mistake, but the others have all been off the break. Starting to hit top gear now, both these players, and pretty much exactly what we were expecting. You know, a couple of early nerves, not necessarily nerves, but just settling in. You know, just need to settle, get your first frame on the board. A couple of early mistakes, but the standard since then has been top draw.
I mean, both of these players will be used to the big stage. They'll be used to playing in arenas, but even so, yeah, certainly for Darren, he's played in many of these events. But this arena could be intimidating for some players later today. They may not have experienced this kind of thing. The crowd's starting to gather. There's quite a lot of people in watching. You can see the ref being very careful taking that rack away.
You need a steady hand.
Yeah. So dry from...
Yeah, dry
Clint.
from Clint, and I think it has to go yellows, because if he goes reds, the yellow Darren's closest to is covering the 2 reds to go into this into this bottom left corner. So it has to go yellows, but I
And
expect to
it's
see
all about the traffic in the middle, isn't it?
Yeah,
He doesn't
needs
want
that
that
to
one to
slow
sit
up.
behind. Now he's in trouble.
Wow,
Goodness.
I'm gonna say it's harsh, but it's not, obviously, because he should have been away from that area and shouldn't have given that. But on another day, he just rests. He just nudges that red ever so slightly, and then he's still on a plant into the middle. You know, on another day, it just, I mean, to get it exactly there is a bit unlucky. You know, I think.
And his natural path is just hampered with that red. I think he can go just above it, but the reds are all open now, and
Yeah, I think
he needs to get lucky.
Well, can he see that? Well, obviously, you can see exactly what he's looking at now. So, now, I mean, there's a good chance he's going to make a 3-ball plant after this. I mean, you're pushing them all, you know, or do you just? No, you don't rest into it. You got to play this firm, I believe.
Yeah. And he
There
does.
you go. There's your 3-ball plant. Oh,
And he makes it.
no, another plant in the middle.
Another plant across the other way now. And this,
It's like a greenhouse.
yeah, in turn, this should, I mean, he's still got a problem because he's just pushed that yellow safe towards the side well, but...
I think he nicks that in. If he gets right behind it, I reckon he can nick that in.
Yeah.
Not easy, though.
But in playing this shot, he's naturally going to break up the little
Black and
yellow
yellow.
and black problem. So this could all open up for him here. He's just got to make this plant. You can see it's just
Yeah, it's just
pointing
digging
towards the
dig
lower
down,
knuckle.
actually. Yeah, I thought it was a bit more set than that.
It did look straighter.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, we're going to see him jack up a little bit here, and he'll want to push that yellow that's touching the black somewhere towards the line. Doesn't want it to go too far down. Doesn't want it to go on the side cushion. Somewhere towards that line. That's perfect, because
That's okay,
that
yeah.
was always his ball that he was going to be on next, or in theory should have been on next. So, yeah, key's just going to be this yellow closest to the left middle.
He's got a great ball. The one that's, I guess, closest to the black spot. Great ball to drop onto that yellow, but it's all about positioning now.
And if it doesn't go, it's going to be a fairly easy double. That hasn't gone to
No,
plan.
I think he would have preferred to be just slightly straighter there, wouldn't he? His,
Much preferred. He wanted to be 6 inches further right, and then he could have floated this ball that he's just pointed his cue out there into this bottom left corner and got really close to that yellow, but he can't get as close as he wants now, and it's going to make this missable.
This is a tricky little shot now.
Yeah.
You can see he's just flattening down the cloth.
Darren will know better than we do just how difficult this is and how tight this is.
Yeah.
But see, from there, that doesn't go.
No,
But then from above,
yeah.
it looks fairly easy, doesn't it? Yeah, that's well played.
That was fine, yeah.
A bit twixt and between as well, actually, here.
Yeah.
But this is
Yeah.
the problem. If he could have got right behind it, he'd have just dropped it in, and then he'd have had a straight yellow
Would have been
into the top
simple.
right corner. Yeah.
And now,
Just
the
important
trouble
to
is,
keep ball
if he
control.
cuts it into the middle, then he's almost certainly going to collide with the black. Well, he might be able to just screw off of that shot, but
He has to take it top left corner,
yeah,
I'm sure.
it's gotta
Has
go.
to. Especially
no,
world
he's
rules.
cutting it. Wow, he's looking.
No, you can't do that, Darren, surely not.
I think he's probably looking just to see if he could just screw past the face of the black. He's looking again.
He's going
Now
into
he's
it, isn't
now
he?
he's
You've got to
going
go
into it for sure.
Yeah, see,
Oh, he's
that's the wrong shot for me.
yeah.
Sorry, Darren, I know you achieve 1,000 times more than what I have in the game, but I took that top left corner.
Yeah, just trusting to luck there. He thought he'd worked out the angle. Almost worked out for him, but the got a kind of quarter-ball contact, which meant the white travelled too far up the table. So,
If that was an American pool table, what shot do you think he'd have played?
well, yeah, absolutely, it would have gone top corner for sure.
I think he can't even double it. The
No,
double kiss is
it
there,
was-
isn't it? Yeah. So, huge turning point in this match, because 9-7 Clint then has to win 4-1 from there, and he's now favourite to go 8 each, and then it's back to a coin toss.
And you just saw the white just roll slightly off. I think it hit a finger mark and just rolled slightly to the left, which may have done him a... Well, yeah. I was going to say, it might... I just wonder whether that'll pot in the right, but he's not even going to try, as he doesn't need to. Doesn't need to attack from here. He's just going to take probably the conservative approach and use the opportunity to move this yellow slightly off the cushion. Wow.
I think his heart was in his mouth there,
Yeah,
thinking whether he left a gap, but he's fine. You wouldn't sleep easy if you left a gap there, and Darren knocks that in for 9-7. You would not sleep easy losing that match if that happened.
No.
But he was a whisker away from that there. I think Darren, no deliberate foul on here. Has to try and hit the black.
No, there's no options.
There isn't really an option for a deliberate foul. Not a worthy one, I don't think so. Good luck, Darren. 2 cushions just above the middle
Yeah.
with pace.
Surprised he's not played that with pace, I must admit.
If he can just land on it. Oh, yeah, fair enough. So, you know, not the most difficult finish Clint's ever going to have to take out in his career, but they're not gimmies. They've got a problem that they've got an area that needs sorting out over this left-hand side of the table. You're 8-7 down, the pressure's on. Can he do it?
So looking like some of the second session games are preparing to get ready. There's Carl Sutton and Tony Halpin are on one of the other stream tables. Don't forget there's 4 tables being streamed, so you can find any of them through the Beard Productions YouTube page, or also you go to playerspoolevents.com and you'll see them all there, all your options. And also we're keeping up to date with the scores. The players have some little kind of I guess like an iPad tablet, which is linked directly to Q-Score. As they win a frame, they mark it off on the tablet, and you get real-time scores. So qscore.com, and you're searching for the Jason Owen Open.
Clint not got the angle he wanted. He didn't want to leave getting onto these two. I mean, if you land behind it, the plant's fairly easy. But he didn't want to leave it till last if he could help it. So it's not quite gone to plan, not quite as easy as it could have been. And at 8-7 down, like I say, the pressure is seriously on. May even see Clint play a safety here, and snooker Darren.
You can see Clint. Well, he's not one for hiding his emotions, is he?
No. With his
Shake of
heart
the
on
head.
his sleeve,
He
yeah.
certainly does.
But I think, yeah, you might well see Clint just lay a snooker here. He doesn't want to. You can tell he doesn't want to. He's going game. Now, again, hasn't got the angle he wanted.
Has he got just enough there to... No, he's
No, I don't
straight,
think
isn't
he
he?
has, no. So
I thought for a moment he might have just enough there to force across, but
I think
no,
there's options.
too straight.
Screw across table, and then wants to land in a direct line so that these two are plant, or we can leave a double. Oh no, yeah, he had a bit of angle. It's good. It's not perfect.
No. But he's okay. He's left himself a shot, and you fancy him for this now.
Yeah. It's not easy. The white's going away from that last red. It could be a bit deceptive here, just how much of a cut that is, but obviously Clint will know, and just winding himself up there, just loosening the shoulder.
You can see both players acutely aware. They've both just brushed down the table. You can see finger marks across the table. And he knew
Biggest
that
shot of
he'd
the match so far. It's a good shot.
He'd be travelling across those finger marks, so just brushing them down.
He's not out of the woods yet. He's going to have to leave himself a black at a distance. And the last thing you wanted, when he came to the table, he'd have been thinking, right, they're there, they're not easy, but I can pick these off. I just want to be close to the black, because you're never going to break the black out.
Yeah.
Just want to be close to the black, and he's going to have to leave this at distance. He's going to have to leave it. He's gone 3 times across. That's bold.
It's a great shot too.
It is a great shot.
He's made that.
Absolutely, he's perfectly in line with it. He just wanted to be a couple of feet closer.
Just again taking the time to compose himself, asking the referee to clean the cue ball.
Yeah.
I think he just spotted a little bit of chalk on there, but
He's gone very silent now in the arena as well.
everyone knows the gravity of this shot.
Yeah. Do you play this with drag? Do you play it with stun? Because people like to play stun shots when they're under pressure. I don't think you can stun this. I think you have to give the pocket the full chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to be
The
bold. You have to be
temptation is
brave and
very
commit.
much there to, as you say, play it with stun, play it firm. But
Yeah, just commit to the shot and give the pocket the best chance to take it, especially on brand new cloth, brand new cushions. They will be a little bit more generous than when they're a couple of weeks old. So I think you've got to play at pocket weight. Perhaps even a little drag shot. I like a drag.
so this, in the context of the match, the difference between 9, 7, and 8 frames apiece is just huge now. With Darren breaking the next one as well. So
By far the biggest shot of the match so far.
Clint takes a breath.
Yeah. Keep your head still. Trust yourself. Dead silent.
Great shot from Clint. And you can see how much that meant to him as well. He just stayed down in the shot just for a couple of seconds.
First reaction we've had from the crowd in the whole match.
Absolutely.
Went dead silent before he played that shot. You're going to see this go all the way.
Brilliant stuff. 8 frames apiece. What a great frame that was from Clint.
It's the best of 5 now.
Really good finish there, just to have the bottle to come across the table 3 times and leave that straight, difficult black.
In the meantime, as well, we've our first Moroccan, Usama Maskini, has beaten Ian Ali 11-10 from 10-9 down.
He has indeed. Wow. Well, what a great result for him.
Another deciding
Fantastic.
frame. Dave McNamara at 11-10 through against Colin Finn. Declan Brennan now through 11-9 against Jake Dillon.
I'm fairly sure that Colin Finn won his seat on one of the bonus balls as well. I could be wrong.
Really?
I'm pretty sure he did, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, fairly sure it was. In fact, I think it might have even been the very last bonus ball. But don't quote me on that.
Could be heading for another decider.
Yeah.
I'm a neutral, I hope so.
So already through, Declan Brennan, Jeremy Hooper, Phil Malam, Adam Davis, Cole Bedford, Gavin Robinson, Jason Shaw, Lewis Calcutt, Dave McNamara, Matt Brearley, and Adam Marlowe by means of Dave Fernandez just recently having a child. Well, obviously not himself, but
It's interesting,
half.
Darren sticking with a cut break there. Now, am I missing something, or was Darren breaking really well at the start of the
he
match?
was, yeah. The only thing that I did notice, and I was going to mention it earlier, I didn't actually, but
Oh, don't drop it.
yeah, for goodness sake. This one's an awkward one, because now this little contraption that he's using is one of the most difficult places this ball could be, because the ball marker is actually chamfered on the bottom side, so you should just be able to move that ball out and in theory just move the rack away. But that's obviously where the thickest part of the rack is. But yeah, I was gonna mention earlier that the only thing I found about Darren's break early doors was he was losing the white ball quite heavily. He went in off, I think on his first 2 breaks, certainly off his first break. Off his 3rd break, he was very close to going in off in the middle. He was really, really losing the white ball, and that might just be playing a factor in the...
It might be, but I think in these rules especially, a dry break is as good as an in off.
Yeah,
Because
that
you
is
only
true.
get one.
Because
you
it's
only
one
get
shot,
visit.
yeah.
So you know, I think in hindsight, I think we might see him switch back to the. I don't know. You've got to break cue. You know, surely you don't need to use a cut break if you've got a break cue. You don't need a cut break, do you? I don't know. Maybe it's an American thing. The big first shot from Clint. He's playing bold. He's taking this long yellow into the top corner pocket. Oh, it's just got there.
I said earlier that was Carl Morris, but actually Carl Morris comes up later in the draw. I think Carl Morris may play in the 3 o'clock session. So that was actually Jason Morris is playing Ben Tanner.
It's Jason Morris?
Yeah.
You should have told me that before I put my double on.
Oh, you didn't, did you?
I did.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, blimey.
Oh, well.
Oh, dear.
We got it all on Jason Morris.
Oh, dear, we're going to fall out.
Oh,
Bad
no.
way. Who's Jason Morris?
Carl Morris is coming up.
Carl
Just
Morris World
later.
Champions 5 to 6.
Yes, I know.
I thought it was a great thing. What have you done to me?
Oh, dear. If it wasn't a big bet, I'll go halves with you just to even it up.
Oh, it wasn't. It wasn't too big. Oh, blimey.
I've got faith in Jason.
Yeah.
I've got no idea who he is.
He's
but
the guy
I've got
with one arm.
I've got a lot of faith.
He's the guy with one arm. It's brilliant. No, I don't mind. It's all right. All for the good of the game, I suppose. Just brilliant.
Well, who'd have thought there's 2 Morrises, eh?
Who'd have thought?
It's the Morris men.
Yeah. See Clint here. He's a big first shot he's played there, and just needs just tight cubal control, and he's 9-8 up, and massive turning point in the match in that last frame where Darren's run into the black. You know, should have been 9-7 up.
So who's the other half of your double?
Who's the other half? Ben Rowland.
Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah, against Omar. Yeah, that's a good shot. Yeah. So they were both around 5 to 6, I take it, weren't they?
Both the same, yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought, obviously, I've gone for Ben Rowland, you know, as someone I fancy.
I think Ben's a lot of value there. Ben's just a super player.
I saw Omar play a little bit yesterday, obviously a good player, but I saw enough to think that I think Ben's a good favourite. And obviously, Morris is a former world champion, so I
just not that Morris.
When a former world champion's 5 to 6, you've got to put him in. But no, cheers, mate. That's, I'm on some guy called Jason that forgot his glasses. Brilliant.
Yeah. I think he probably got in on a bonus ball as well. Like,
yeah, bonus ball.
I understand he's never played before, but he just thought he'd take a punt at the bonus ball. And
he's the one that.
You watch, you'll be thanking me later.
Yeah, you'll see the ref over there. I'll be just explaining the rules to him. Yeah, that's my double. Right, big shot from Clint. Has to be below. He wants to be in line with the blue spot. Doesn't. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's.
That's okay. I think he was trying to. I may have called it wrong. I think he was trying to
run onto the red. Do you think? Yeah, full ball contact.
Yeah, but there was always going to be a plan B, providing you don't overhit it by miles, which is this. So he can just come into the gap. Just wants to stun into the gap. Needs to carry on.
I think he's okay.
The frame was over. If the ball rolled an extra half a ball, the frame was over. But he may have to come up and down. Clint will know better because he's right behind the shot. I think he can just cheat the pocket.
Just
come
hold
up and down. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. So a 99 out of 100.
So to retake the lead.
To go 9-8 up.
Now who can call this? Where's your money now, Dan?
Well, some of it's down the drain because obviously I've gone against the non-world champion, but that's, no, you got to favour Clint, haven't you? Because he's 9-8 up now, and Darren has to win 3-1 from here, and Clint's got the break next as well. So if he makes a ball, there's a good chance he's going to go 10-8 up before Darren has another shot.
So Dom Cooney and John McAllister now in action. John McAllister, am I right in thinking he's off the back of a... Did I see John McAllister winning an event recently, or is that...
Yeah, he won the last IPA.
Was it the Open or the Pro? I can't remember now.
I think it was the Open. He played Greg Batten in the final.
He did play Greg Batten, of course he did.
Literally the best standard
How can I
final
forget?
we've ever had there. It was faultless,
Yeah.
literally,
Yeah.
until that deciding frame. And I won't talk too much about it because
No.
Greg will get a bit upset.
Greg will get very upset, and I've got to work with him later. So
Have you?
yeah. I think he's coming in on commentary for the next game. I think so. I'm going to mention it.
Yeah,
Well,
you
he's
should
here.
mention it, yeah.
Definitely.
Tell him you won't mention
That
it. Get him on air.
That twitchy shot that.
Yeah.
I think he almost had someone's eye out with his elbow that day.
Yeah, a couple of people went to A&E.
So anyway, yeah, Dom is just
Taking the first frame. is
taking
he?
the first frame. Yeah.
It's John, okay. It's the thing with this, and I know a lot of the players, but there's a good 30, 40 or so players that I don't know. They're obviously all very good. Some surprise packages this weekend. He needs a ball down, he's got a couple down. He's got 3 down.
He's got 3, and it's going to be reds.
It's going to be reds.
It's not a formality, but
Not a formality at all. He'll want to... I want to get on this. I think the order's key again, isn't it? They're all in the open. Nothing needs breaking out. I think even the red closest to the middle probably drops in the middle. If you land on it perfect, it's
Yeah.
an easy double. The red top left might be his...
it goes, but it's not
Yeah.
an easy ball to get on.
Well-
Not to get on nicely, anyways.
Could we see him play a first shot? No, he's not going to. Because he's obviously nominating reds now, so he is reds.
Screw back into the.
Oh,
He's tried to move
I'd
that
say
one. I mean, I'm surprised he's done that.
that was dangerous.
Yeah.
If he'd have flicked, if he'd have been ever so slightly higher on that red, that white could have
Gone
gone
off,
off in the
yeah.
middle pocket.
And it didn't feel like there was much need because
No.
it doubles, and he's played a few doubles like that
But if
today.
he'd have
and
just dropped that in dead weight, could have doubled it into the middle.
Yeah.
These 2 in the bottom right corner, and then leave yourself half ball, quarter ball, or 3/4 ball, sorry, on the red top right, and then get yourself over in this left-hand side of the table. But I think he's going to go over to it now.
He's going to have to force this.
Yeah, it's just one of these weird ones. You don't want to be straight on it,
Yeah,
but you want to be close. Now,
This is thin.
he is thin. He can cut it. I think he's got that insurance that he's going to leave the pocket covered if he does miss it. But yeah, it's a thin one.
And Max Nosko and Stevie Dempsey is now underway, and Max is taking the first frame. From this camera angle, it looks a far easier shot, doesn't it?
That's a lot better shot than it needs.
Yeah.
That's to slow up.
Oh wow! I think he's okay,
Yeah, I think he's
but
okay.
it's slightly hampered queuing that he's having to queue over the top of the yellow, and this makes his shot infinitely harder.
Has very little choice though, but I think a little bit of insurance that will just make him loosen his arm up a little bit. Is he probably going to play a pocket weight anyway? You certainly won't be ramming this in awkward queuing down a cushion. But if he does miss it, he should cover the bag, and in these rules, that's gonna give him a big advantage. So just needs to get close. If you don't pot it, you need to be close. He hasn't got
That's not
close.
going to stick.
Oh, he's got away with that.
He has indeed.
Again.
So, question now is, I mean, Darren can take control of the frame. He's got a ball over towards the right-hand side that he can take control of this bottom right-hand pocket. But it's just whether he can pot the one nearest to the left-hand cushion.
I'm
The
not
one
so
that's-
sure he can, but
No, I don't think it goes by.
I think he can hide up there quite, and obviously he'd have no problem with leaving Clint the left-hand side of this red, in the bottom left-hand side of the table. So if he can snooker Clint from the 2 on the right, up in this corner, then he could put Clint in a bit of trouble. But I think if he just rolls into the first yellow on the left-hand side of the table, I think there's going to be a gap. So I don't think it's
I think
it's an easy thing to figure
given
out.
this cloth, the fact that it's brand new table, I think these pockets, for the more tactical players, these pockets are going to be quite hard to cover.
Yeah, and look, if we look down, it's a great camera angle. If Darren can just roll into this yellow and leave the white where the first yellow is on the left-hand side,
Yeah.
then there will be no gap. Obviously, just to make sure he hits a cushion. So, no, that's rolled on. That's gone forward. Has he left a gap?
I think.
He's left a gap.
Oh, he has, you know.
Yeah. Now if he'd have just played it firmer into it, and the white, like I say, the white's just one ball further back.
You can see a wry look on his face, poking his,
he knows
poking
what
his
he's
tongue
done.
out.
I think he's left a gap. I think he's left a gap for the point angle.
He has. Oh wow! I was
Oh,
just about to say he has. I think he had. I mean, Clint, you can see that showing frustration there.
Yeah. He's left Darren an opportunity as well to, if he can go up top left-hand side of the table, make this first yellow into the top left corner. He can either. Oh,
Is he
okay.
playing?
Does
Yeah.
that go? No, it
No.
doesn't go.
So he's just playing a little containing.
Yeah, now he's in massive control of this
Yeah.
frame. You can hear a pin drop now.
That's a good shot. My first instinct was to play off the one nearest the right centre and hide behind the two balls, just to bring that one out into open play. But Darren saw it differently. He certainly played the right shot there.
I think it's half the battle as well when you're in a tense match, you're in an important match, and it's to think clearly under pressure. You know, he'll know the right shot, but now and again when you're under pressure, you're not thinking clear enough to play the right shot. That's a very good shot from Clint.
Yeah.
He's bought himself some time there. He's a little bit unlucky to leave his red safe
His other
up
red,
there.
yeah.
But yeah, he's taking control of this bottom right-hand corner pocket.
So now Darren, he won't have any desire to leave that yellow over the left corner. It's not doing anything for him now. It's
No, nothing at all. I mean, the clip of the finish is on, so I think he's gonna go for the finish. I think he's got the option of bringing the white just above where the black is, leaving himself a fairly easy double into the middle, and then the yellow to the right of the black. Or is he going to try and get over into the gap? Yeah, okay. He was trying to do a bit too much there almost.
yeah.
Tough shot though, wasn't easy. Clint doesn't really have much choice, does he? He has to go game, but I think he does.
Yeah, I think so too.
Does he? No. I think given that you're 9-8 up as well, I think he should. But
I mean, he actually has an angle to screw back into it, but it doesn't gain him any advantage. So he has to play onto this
yeah,
red.
played that
and-
perfectly, so
yeah.
he's just going to needs to leave himself perfect on the double.
Yeah, just looking now, it doesn't go off any other ball, doesn't go rail first or anything, so it's literally just all his eggs in one basket now.
Yeah, it's just whether he leaves the double into the corner or into the middle.
Yeah.
I think you prefer to leave him in the middle if you can, but I don't know.
That's come up short.
I think he only just about come far enough. Given that the red's a little bit away from the cushion, he can straighten this up by playing it firm. And stun back over towards roughly where the white is now.
Tough shot, this one.
Tough shot. Massive shot from Clint. Nowhere near. That straightened up a lot.
And now, an incredible opportunity that Darren would have been hoping for.
There he is. It's just this one saving grace that Clint may have is this yellow nearest the right middle pocket. Darren needs to get. You want to get good on it. You don't want to leave this from distance.
Yeah, the bonus for Darren here is that it doesn't really. Well, he's just overhit that one. He's still okay. He doesn't really need to do anything off the last ball with the cue ball, does he? If he can leave it.
So he's going to come twice across again now, I think,
Yeah.
because he's just
Has to.
not where he wanted to be.
And this looks okay.
It's okay, but you know
It would rather been another 3 or
Yeah.
4 inches across the table,
Of course.
dead straight. But you fancy him for this, under pressure. What a great shot. Super, super clearance here from Darren. Such a key time. Darren showing such a great temperament, as we know that he has.
Temperament, bottle. He's not going to be found wanting, is he?
No. No, heart of a lion. So as we just tick over 1 p.m, the tournament's been underway for just a little over 3 hours. This game probably closer to about 2 hours, 15 minutes. Nothing between them. Quite a lot of other games have already finished. You can see the scores on qscore.com. Keep up to date with all the live scores. But, this one's been nip and tuck all the way, and it remains that way now. Couldn't have asked for a better match. On paper, or as it's played out in front of us to kick off this tournament. And for those of you recently joining us, if you've had to work this morning or just getting home, sit back and enjoy the remainder of this match and the remainder of the tournament. Throughout the weekend, we're streaming from Newcastle under Lyme. Darren.
9-8. He's gone back to the middle break. He's going to smash him again. We said he might do. He's hitting really well.
That's much better.
Nothing down yet. Oh wow. He hit them well.
He did. He really timed that well. Very unfortunate not to make a ball there. So, what is Clint faced with in this key frame?
Tricky.
Nothing, yeah, nothing immediate. I don't know if this yellow goes to middle. I don't. If it does,
Yeah.
I think I'll certainly go for yellows.
On the face of it, you go, oh, they're all there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, there's a good opportunity, whether he goes reds or yellows.
Just
But
the opener, isn't it?
they're all kind of messing each other up, aren't they? Even though there's no balls touching each other. There's no balls right next to each other, but they're all kind of in each other's way.
Yeah, even the yellow or the red to top left, hampered by the black, making it a really tricky opener.
I think if you can pot red, if you can make a red. Oh,
Can he get through this gap? If he can, well, that's
Looks like he can.
well. I'm kind of a little bit surprised that he took quite so long over that shot.
Well, actually, so if this yellow next to the black goes into the bottom right corner, then yeah, yellows were definitely the ball.
Yeah.
If it goes, maybe he hasn't got a full pocket. I'd assume the fact that he's gone yellows that does. So it does pass. The key to the frame is going to be leaving yourself straight on that ball, because if you land straight on that, the one just to the right of it, it's going to be a last ball for the black, and it's going to be fairly easy.
So there we got a slightly better view. I'm
Yeah.
not sure whether.
I think he's probably got.
Yeah.
He's got pretty much a full pocket there. Needs that to slow up. That's perfect. It's all about literally stun, stun, stun. So leave the cue ball where the yellow is now. Then leave the cue ball where that yellow is, where Clint was just pointing his cue there, because he wants to be, he needs to leave himself the perfect angle to just float down in line with perhaps the middle pocket. Needs to be straight on this second last yellow. If he can get that angle, which he should be able to do, I can't see where he's going to go wrong.
No.
And he'll just dolly this in, just barely move the cue ball ever so slightly forward. But you do need to leave yourself perfect on these in the middle.
So just 2 games from the 10:30 session still in play. This being one of them. The other one between Ian Brown and Craig Brown and Ian Duffy. A little between those two. Ian Duffy 9-8 ahead. Jason Morris locked up at 1 apiece. He's got himself a frame on the board. That's got to give us some hope, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, let's hope so.
It could be an inspired shout, you know.
I think you're in cahoots with a bookie. Right, so he's just about okay, because he should be able to rest on the black now, and that might make it easier, if anything, if he can push that black halfway between where it is now and the back cushion. It'll make it even easier to get on. Oh, don't want to roll through too much.
I think he's okay, isn't he? Can he just get below? I mean, there's a lot of traffic there, but it looks like he can just...
He's okay, but it's so much easier. It's so much,
oh, yeah, absolutely.
It looks so much easier than it is. It just needs to...
One cushion, touch the left-hand side just to drift it out into that open space.
He should be fine.
Well, that's harder than I imagined him playing it.
That's a
Goodness
shocker.
me.
Is it too hard? Is it too hard?
Was he trying to land on... I mean, what, I don't know. I'm not quite sure
He's
what
hit it too high. He was trying to land. He was trying to nudge the red, wasn't he? Obviously, but I didn't think
he went through the gap that he needed to go through. So
you
it's
need
just
to play it maybe a little bit softer and use the rest as a stopper, the red as a stopper if you get there.
Does it still cut? He's looking at the cut, isn't he?
Oh, well, it's not an impossible cut, but
And the white's flying.
I mean, we got to take cover just in case the white comes off the table.
No good.
It was a thin one.
No good.
Oh, and the red's in as
And
well.
the red's in as well. So
just to add insult to injury.
Darren suddenly, just to that one slightly overhit shot from Clint, Darren goes a massive favourite now. Not just in this frame, but also in the match. Clint's going to be breaking the next one.
It's a big error from Clint there.
It does mean that Darren's going to have at least one break. Obviously, he's going to have... If he doesn't win it, the next he's going to have the break to win the match.
Breaking next year for the match.
Whereas Clint would have been breaking to win the match in the next.
Yeah.
Huge swing. Huge swing on that one shot.
Yeah, that's going to be tough to come back from psychologically.
Yeah. So, it was a formality. And Darren Appleton makes it look so. And he goes on the hill against Clint Hansen, 10 frames to 9. Clint with the break in the 20th frame. And what a huge break this is going to be.
See, Darren's just holding his elbow there. See that?
Yep.
Just doing little elbow exercises there, twisting, turning. I think he's trying to massage his tricep just above his elbow. I don't know if he's hurt it or tweaked it
or maybe just just trying to massage out the nerves.
Yeah,
there will be
maybe
some nerves, even for a player of Darren's experience. He'll just feel the pressure slightly now.
Everyone, of course, yeah. I mean, there's a good chance he'd have had some of his own money on the Calcutta.
Yep.
Obviously, he's just that natural competitor as well. So, he's got pride. He plays for. I know his career's in 9-ball now, but he wouldn't be in this if he was just going to take it lightly.
No, born winner.
Born winner, yeah.
So what a big break this is. And from Clint's perspective, he will be feeling the pressure. He's been in these situations many times before. He knows how to handle it. He gets straight down, no messing. And he's gone back to the front ball break. No cut break from him that time. That's really interesting. He's been cut breaking quite a lot recently.
Yeah.
And look where these reds have gone.
They couldn't
They
have
are
come out
delightful.
any better.
And this is going to hill.
That's 10-all.
Just going to predict that right now.
Yeah. Chalk it up. Only thing he needs to do is just it's only a mistake that can mess this up. So I think he's just going to take the red that he's closest to now. Just screw back in between the gap between the yellow and black. It's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. I suppose if the red doesn't go into the right middle, doesn't need to get position on that. So
Yep.
it's his last stumbling block. But
Yep. Just looking for problems where there shouldn't be any, but you never know under pressure. Just half a ball roll here and there can make all the difference. He needs a couple of really good shots now. Just needs to be absolutely pinpoint. You can see him playing this with top and right hand side.
see, now I think that may go into the middle, but he just probably
I
hasn't
think
got a
he's
whole
got
pocket.
the bottom half of the pocket.
Yeah, so if you're right behind it, you definitely.
If he
play
has,
it.
if it goes, he's perfect, and you can see there.
Yeah, he's got half a
Yeah,
pocket, but do you need to play it?
I don't think you do actually. I think he will. I don't think he needs to.
No.
I think he will just because he's just gonna land perfectly for the. And there you go.
Yeah, that's good.
It's always just gonna land perfectly on this ball.
Yeah, so bring the white out to roughly on the line that it's on now. And trace the
good
left-hand
stuff.
side.
Yeah, yeah.
Anywhere in that massive circle next to the blue spot. What a treat, first match.
Incredible. Couldn't have asked for anything more.
The last 128, this is. Wanted to be closer than that.
Yeah. But he's fine.
So watch where the cue ball goes afterwards as well.
It's good
So watch
control.
where the cue ball goes, okay.
So there we are. What drama.
Now I know they came out easy, but that takes some bottle to get to break and finish.
Yeah.
After the mistake
It
that
really
he's just made
does.
the frame before.
It really does. We talked about both of these players' bottle, and it showed it there, real heart. And Darren Appleton, now the pressure, the spotlight turns upon him as he breaks frame number 21, the deciding frame. And this to progress through the winners section, or to drop across into the losers section. What a massive difference that is.
Oh, it's a long way back, isn't it? You know, it's so tough mentally. I think Darren will be a bit more, definitely be a bit more accustomed to that. Obviously, with American pool, that most events are double elimination. So I'm sure he mostly gets through on the winner's side, but I'm sure he's come through some loser sides in his time to.
You see, just at the top of his shot there, sat right behind Darren, the eagle eye, Rona McCarthy, sat watching like a hawk, watching every move studiously.
He's probably got a bet on it.
He probably has.
Gambling man.
He loves a bet.
Liam White raced into a 4-0 lead against Jay Dewar. Right, let's just concentrate. He's gone back to the cut break.
That's really incredible.
Oh,
That's
he
so
just
interesting.
doesn't know what to. Hasn't made his mind up. Huge. He's made a ball.
These look
Made two
okay.
balls. He's made one of
These
each.
look okay. I think
Oh,
the
wow.
Reds look just. Let's have a look at the table.
He'd have snapped your hand off for that.
Reds look a dream.
He'd have snapped your hand off for that.
I mean,
Even yellows are fairly good.
yeah, I mean, the one, I guess, tricky ball because it's only got one pocket. He can get on it straight away.
pacey, Darren. Just up the pace a little bit here as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see in a deciding frame you can overthink just for the sake of it.
So after this shot,
You create tension that shouldn't be there.
he's going to be on that one tricky ball. And not so tricky when he leaves it like this, but I say it's only tricky because it only really goes into these two pockets.
Yeah, and he's left the perfect angle as well.
Yeah.
To just stun back.
Just stand out past the yellow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's harder than I thought he'd play it.
He had to,
yeah, just had to force it.
the angle a little bit there. So
And always a danger when you play these shots. We haven't seen a pop out, but when you play them at that kind of pace, they do pop out of the middle sometimes on these
dreaded pop out.
on these supreme winners.
So does he leave the red into the left middle last, or does he get onto it now?
I think he has a great angle to go up table now. I think he leaves the one to left middle until last. I think he can just play this little stun shot just to finish somewhere around about the bulk line.
If anything, you want to play a soft stun.
Yeah.
And get just to the right of where the black is now.
Yep.
But they're not the sort of shots you want to play under pressure.
I know it's a delicate shot under pressure, but he dearly love to leave just because of the natural position of.
You can't roll it through. It's not a screw back. It's sort of like a semi-stun. You know, a semi-stun and a soft one at that.
Delicate shot.
Yeah, they're horrible shots to play.
He's just playing a natural ball.
No, he's playing the one into the middle now.
Playing the one to the middle, and he's left well, it's just like the wrong side of it. I don't think it matters too much. I think he can.
He's okay. So he's standing now from roughly where he's going to be standing when he plays his last ball.
Yep.
Needs to leave the white.
It's going to have a half ball cut.
Yeah, the right of where the yellow is. He's going to have a fairly natural angle to come back up table. May play it with the tracer side, which could, but look, he should be fine. If this was practice, he finishes it every time.
Yeah. You can see he's giving this some extra thought. Really important shot. Just again.
When you're under pressure, just make sure you leave yourself a shot.
Still got his extension, but not using it. Doesn't need to. So now.
Worried about all sorts. What do you do? Don't flick a ball with your hand, Darren.
Yeah, absolutely.
Blimey.
Second guessing himself.
It's like a Hoover going across there. Calm down.
So this should be a fairly natural path.
Yeah, just all about the pace. Don't underhit it.
Anywhere around the blue spot. This looks great. This looks perfect.
It is perfect. It's game over. Good finish.
Wow.
It was an easy clearance, but nothing's easy at 10 each.
Goodness me, what a fantastic match. Incredible stuff. So Darren Appleton answers any doubts there may have been about him coming back into English 8-ball. I mean, what a fantastic game, taking out one of the best players around in Clint Aronson. Clint drops across to the loser's side. We're going to be back with some more great action very, very shortly. They're going to set up the table. Thanks so much, Dan. It's been an absolute pleasure commentating with you.
And you, buddy.
Yeah, great stuff, and good luck this afternoon.
Yeah, you're going to get changed. Cheers, buddy.
Yeah, we'll see you all again very, very shortly, and we will be back with, I believe it's Carl O'Donoghue. In fact, we're going to go across the studio pretty shortly, so stick around for that. Lee Kendall will be in there, I guess, probably with Gareth Potts, and they're all heading in there now. So yeah, stick around for some interviews. See you again very, very shortly.
Okay, so we're here with the guys after the first match. Darren, congratulations. Obviously your first match back at English Pool for a long time. How do you find it?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, that's like as nerve-wracking as playing a final in the World Championship. Just because, obviously in practice it's different. I was a bit more comfortable in practice, but when you get in a match situation, and Lee and his teams made a great arena here, so they made it really pressurised. So obviously not playing for 10 years, I just was very tentative with a cue ball, and obviously coming from American pool with the English 8-ball balls and the white ball, I just wasn't confident with the cue ball. So I just tried to keep it as simple as possible, but I was really nervous, yeah.
And obviously, practicing English 8-ball, which you've done leading up to this, is practice is good. But out there in that arena, when you're under the pressure, the body reverts back to what comes natural to it. And what comes natural to you is playing American 8-ball or Chinese 8-ball on those tables with the balls. So under pressure, nothing comes natural to you. So that's probably the reason why I can see in your face now that it was quite a big, and like you said, you felt really nervous. So
yeah, I mean, it's just like you say, it's just the physics and the just the reaction with a cue ball and the object ball. It just reacts completely different. So obviously in American pool, we like the bigger balls. You've got to hit the cue ball a certain way to get like a soft draw or whether you're punching the ball. Where with this game, you've got to sort of de-accelerate a little bit. So obviously if you're doing it all the time, it just comes natural. For Clint, it probably comes natural. Like when he's just playing them little screw shots, he plays them perfect. Where with me, I'm just guessing. So when you're under pressure and you're a bit shaky, then it's just I told myself in the last game, just leave me a pot. I don't care where the cue ball is, just because if I try and come off 2 or 3 rails, I'll probably snooker myself or something.
yeah. And to you, Clint, obviously it's a tough first round match that for anybody. So a great game to kick off the stream, but obviously very disappointed to lose.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed to lose. I've put a lot of practice in this, the last 2 or 3 weeks, to be honest, like 4 or 5 hours a day. I felt really good coming into the game. Just at the start and the middle, I just found it hard to control the white ball. The tables are playing lovely and just lightning fast. But yeah, I just struggled to control that white. I didn't have it where I wanted it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and first match on the arena, the table's going to play. Well, the cloth's new. It's a brand new Strachan number 10 cloth. It's going to play quick. It's going to play slippy, especially the first match out there. So it is hard to adapt to, and you can't practice playing in those conditions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The table that I practice on, it's got aims of match, which is it's fast and it's reactive, but it's nothing compared to that. It's lovely. It plays beautiful. You're probably going to need like a match or 2 to get used to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To get used to how fast it is and how reactive and how the cushions react and stuff. But it plays lovely.
Obviously, this tournament is double elimination, so you've lost that match, but you're not out. There is still another life, so you've just got to keep going, right? And
yeah, I know I missed a couple of chances in that game, but I still feel confident. Right?
Yeah, I think the second half of the match, the conditions changed as well. It started to get a bit sticky in there.
Yeah, I think.
So then it made it even tougher, and the break was tough, right?
Yeah, I think obviously with the racks that we're using, the breaks are very open. The balls are going everywhere.
And at the start of this, when we did the interview, we spoke about the difference in the rules and how the players had perhaps adapt, the World Rules players adapt to the black ball and vice versa. And with that new rack, I think that has eliminated quite a lot of that because the balls are just breaking so openly that the rules are not really coming into play as much as it might do without the magic rack.
Yeah, I can't remember a frame where we was covering bags or anything.
No, I think only one tactical frame in the
Yeah, virtually every frame.
It was either come dry or we make a ball, but it was like 50-50. Yeah. So it was good. I mean, I think we both missed the same amount of chances in the match.
Yeah.
So 10-10 was a fair score, I think.
Yeah. So just a final word, obviously, on winning then. First match out the way was as tough a match as you probably could have had. So that's a big win. Obviously, going to give you a lot of confidence going forward.
Definitely. I mean, obviously, when I saw the draw, I thought I've drawn one of the top 8 players in the country, probably, or in the world. Obviously, I'm off the scene, but I played him a couple of times a long time ago. But so obviously, I knew how good he was, and obviously, I followed the results. So yeah, probably one of the worst draws, really. Obviously, to get the win is just a bonus, so that's going to give me confidence, I think. And I'm pretty confident that Clint can come from the losers' side. Yeah. So maybe later in the tournament we might play each other again.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, all the best, obviously, to both of you for the rest of the event, and straight on to the next streaming event, which is coming up shortly.